really realize that the older the woman is, the easier she fuck. It's to fuck her. So what's the point of being with her?
It's
That's
not
true.
even that we're smart. It's just that when you're around women for a long time, they all say the same stuff. Like they don't change the script. They don't use
It's
different.
not. Yeah, you
Yeah,
use the
they
same
don't use
script.
different words. They all use the same exact words to describe the same exact stuff and tell the same exact lies. So it's like y'all know,
Yep.
like when y'all get like you know how when they say women are around each other for a long time, their periods sync up. The same thing happens with like their how they word things, how they phrase things, how they sort of story tell because they all y'all say the same shit. Like the same exact words too, the same exact parts of speech, you know. So the shit is just funny, man.
Yeah, some women are hard headed too.
Yeah. And like
That,
some women, they actually like they pull decent dudes, like dudes that like have like a good work ethic. He's a real like genuine like decent dude. But the woman, her personality's so shitty, and like she's such a shitty person that she run them off. Like
They drive them crazy.
yeah, I ain't
I,
even gonna lie.
I,
I got an auntie like that. I got an auntie. She literally had a good dude. Dude was a nice husband for her, like take care of her. She ain't pay no bills, shit like that. And she fucked that up, bro. Left. He got him a little young bitch now. He out there flexing. And to my city nigga, he got a new truck.
I was
see,
thinking to
but that's the
myself. I
thing.
was thinking to
Like a lot
myself
of
just
times,
today.
women they fuck it up and then they try to come back. You know, spin the block.
I was thinking to myself today in this situation, especially when it comes to like my own family, like women in my family. I'm like, how do y'all let bums hit? How do y'all let bums hit? But then when it comes to dudes that are responsible, educated, have good work ethic, and all that shit, they're the ones that have to jump through hoops. I'm like, that doesn't make any fucking sense. The moment you find a super responsible person that likes you, you should be throwing pussy at them off top. Off top, no
But
questions
that's
But
asked.
the
then, but
thing,
it's
D. It's
yep.
just like you
The,
said. It's like they want to be through in these streets. They don't
that
want them
shit,
until they don't got no more options.
But
yeah,
and
But
not only
that
that,
shit is
they can
fucking
listen
nuts
to
to
you
me.
got to give the men credit too. Like most dudes that are real good dudes, they've never really had the experience of like talking to women at a young age and being successful. Niggas who was bums, like they was fucking bitches at like 13, 12, and shit like that. So they know what to
That's
say
true.
to it. They know what to say to a motherfucker to get what they want out of a woman
Yeah.
and shit like that.
that's true.
Unemployed motherfuckers spend all day fucking. Who you
Yeah,
think fucking
exactly.
that?
That's
Who
why
you
a good
think
dude
fucking
got to jump
everybody
through hoops.
girl?
A good dude got to jump through hoops because he don't know what to say to that bitch. But a nigga who a bum, he get that bitch out of panties in like 2 hours.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And like a girl that fucks a girl fucking a broke ass unemployed nigga. Get the fuck out of here, man.
It's like I said. Who you think be texting all these women during the middle of the workday, fucking them in their car on their lunch break? It's all the unemployed motherfuckers.
You ain't lying, bro.
The
It's
women
all the
that
other.
they be paying for everything and shit.
Yep, be letting them use their car, paying his
Cars.
phone bill and shit.
Bro, I live on the
Sex will
army
never
base,
beat it.
bro. I got a battle buddy, bro. This motherfucker, fucking staff sergeant. He got a wife. She ain't in the military. He literally just called this bitch fucking the dude who work at the motherfucking gas station, bro.
Oh my god.
Oh my
Oh my
god.
god, bro. You
You
know,
can't have
I always say like when I see shit on Twitter, like dudes be complaining about relationships. I'm like, let me tell y'all something. The dude who spends all the money on her and the dude who's fucking her are usually two different people.
Mm-hmm.
And after you graduate high school, you got to decide real fast which motherfucker you're gonna be.
Yeah, yep.
You gotta decide super fast. You gotta decide you gonna be getting the pussy or you just gonna be paying bills and shit. Because women will fuck dudes that they pay for. They'll pay the phone bill, let them drive the car and all this bullshit and happily give them pussy. But they see you with a job, working hard, doing well, and they'll sit there have you
they want to
have
waste your time.
Hey,
They want to
hey, the
waste your
funniest
time.
shit
no,
that happened.
they'll have you pay for dinner and they'll have you pay to get her hair done because she giving all her money to do she fucking. She ain't got
Look,
no bread.
look.
She need
Let
yours.
me tell
Oh,
you,
I heard
Beehive.
somebody say that.
Let me
That's
tell you,
crazy. I
Beehive.
did hear.
When I moved to Minnesota, when I moved back to Minnesota from Texas, I wasn't on my feet yet. I was, basically like, homeless and shit at the time because I was,
Mm-hmm.
I was down bad. So my fucking dad wife told me she was like, all you gotta do is just find you a girl out here in Minnesota. They'll move you in
Mm-hmm.
right away,
Mm-hmm. You ain't
right
lying.
away. And I was like, what you talking? Like you tripping? And I'm like, okay. So I went to the bar End up meeting the chick. Next thing you know, I'm spending the night at her crib, taking showers there, all that, getting ready, you know what I'm saying, getting my life together, and then I'm gone.
Exactly, bro. Yup.
Shit crazy,
Like,
right?
a dude should never be homeless. If you fuck a bitch right, you would never gotta be homeless.
That's
That's real. That's real. I had a situation, and that's how I solved it. I'm keep it 100. Like keep it 100.
In 2016, I
That
got
shit
out
crazy how
the
that
military for a
shit
year.
work, right?
And you black too in Minnesota? Yeah, I know.
Nah,
I know.
Oh, yeah.
I know what you was doing.
White tea chick or nothing like that. It was a black chick.
Oh,
Nah,
okay.
I know
The
what
white
you're talking
bitches
about.
are
There's a
worse.
lot of dudes
The
like
white
that.
bitches get
That's
the
not
parents
me.
to get
Hell
money.
no.
That bro, Midwest, yes. Midwest, yes.
What?
The
Exactly.
white bitches are worse, bro. They start getting the parents to give you money and give you
Dude,
opportunities and shit
they'll
like that.
fucking start talking about trust funds and shit.
Yeah.
I've seen some goofy shit. Like I haven't gotten like nothing extreme like that, but I've seen like just straight up just retarded situations where a black dude will be out of nowhere, then he'll be with someone like that, and then he'll start riding around in cars, getting clothes bought, putting them through like community college and shit. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
This dude, he got with a native chick who, getting money from the reservation or whatever. Next thing you know, he on. You know what I'm saying? Taking her money to flip, do what he got to do. I'm like, man, it's like that.
Exactly. He'll fuck around, buy a brick, flip that shit.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? I know probably the people in the UK gonna wake up in the morning, and listen to the playback, and be like, "What are these Americans talking about?"
Yeah, they don't know what this is. They get lucky, find one girl in middle school, and hope they can either get that girl pregnant before they graduate high school, or convince them to marry them afterwards. Because they all seem like squares. But one thing I heard was I listened to this podcast, and I heard that British chicks love American dudes, especially like American black dudes.
Yeah, we was over there for the military, right? Like we went to the UK. Some of them went over to the Australia. I ain't never been to Australia, but they say like the women always say, "Man, we like the American dudes because y'all like confrontational. Like y'all come and talk to us. So the UK dudes, they sit back and wait for us to talk to them. They real shy, real scary. Like the American
ladies,
motherfuckers,
man, they want to fucking put their jacket on the floor, let them walk over a puddle and shit.
Especially if you're in the military, you can just go back to base and be like, "Hey, baby, what's good? What's cracking?"
Or I'm telling you, bro.
They got some fine black women in England.
They think every black dude is a rapper or something like that.
On the other
Damn,
side.
you must have been cleaning up shop, Midwest.
No,
I mean,
Korea was crazy. They're like, oh my God, singer.
Asian American chicks be doing that too. They be like, "Oh, can you dance?" Nah, bitch, get away from me. The was like, "Oh, can you dance? Can I touch your hair?" I'm like, "Bitch, no, you can't touch my fucking hair."
Yeah, I never.
What's wrong with you?
Get away from me.
Yeah, man. I'm like, bro.
This was when I was like 18. There was this Asian girl that used to come into my job. She really liked me. She was like Korean or something. Man, but she was just so awkward and just like, I didn't realize it till like after. I was just like, huh. But she was just so awkward about it. She was just so shy. I never really did anything. But I
only dated outside my race one time, and I never do that shit again.
Who was it with? Was it with a Hispanic
Latina,
chick? Yeah.
Latino. She was Mexican, but she was one of those Mexicans that was like white Latino. If you give her
okay,
I see what you're talking about.
Yeah, but her parents was, she stayed with her grandparents, and they was fully, from Mexico. But anyways, it was just weird because, I wasn't all the way woke back in the day. So I just didn't put the pieces together, but I was like, man, her people's really not fucking with me. and then one day she had told me, she said her mom don't like fucking with black people because the dude she fucked with back in the day fucked her credit up. And I'm like, what the? And I was thinking back then, what does that have to do with all black people? But yeah, they wasn't going for that shit. And eventually the relationship would just die because it was just like, ain't no way that shit was gonna work. But got older and I realized like, oh yeah, they was definitely racist.
Right now, I just don't have the patience for like a race relationship because I get mad easily. Because that girl I told you about is kind of like, she have her slow moments, and it would make me mad. So I just kind of start, I'll get a little rowdy, and then I start yelling at her. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Don't don't be out here fucking dangerous simping like these other niggas.
Nah,
Beating up their girls and shit. I don't be doing none of that shit. Hell no.
nah, I don't be doing none of that.
I'm cool on that shit. What y'all think about motherfucking Errol Spence versus Ugas? You think Ugas gonna take that one home or what?
It's
Nah, I think you just gonna put up a fight.
it's going the first 5 rounds getting adjusted to Ugas's weird style. Well, not weird, but Cuban style of outboxing is going to be annoying. But once Errol starts to time his jab, slip the double jab, and get in and actually get his own work to the body, I think he's going to turn it around and get probably a UD or an MD.
Why he ain't working with Blu-ray? That's what I don't understand. I seen Blu-ray's page. And I was like, dude, that nigga, I ain't gonna lie. He a little off sometimes, but he know what he doing. Them jailhouse workouts. He talking about I work with Errol Spence, 11 fights and all of them 11 straight KOs. That does say something. That says a lot. That really does.
Yeah, I don't know about these new people fit to box. I mean, I've seen their workouts. Their workouts seem cool. I don't know what I don't know what their history is or how successful they've been with other athletes, but we'll see. But Ugas, strength or no strength, Ugas is a difficult person to stop.
It is, and this is actually a huge time.
Yeah.
I think this is a big statement for Earl as well, because he didn't look like the Errol Spence in his last fight, and obviously we know why, because he was just come off a car accident, and then he had this eye injury. So I think people are really glued to this fight because we want to see if he's going to be the same Errol Spence that he was prior to, say, the accident. Because, I mean, he didn't. I mean, to me, in that Denny Garcia fight, I think Spence is a smart fighter, but he didn't look like the Spence that I was accustomed to seeing. And so I'm interested to see how he comes out and fight in this fight. It's going to be very telling. This is going to be very telling on what's going to happen with his career moving forward. And Ugas isn't a light touch, and he has a lot of momentum going on. You're talking about fighting on pay-per-view, his struggle with his country, and him being an advocate for what's happening in his country, and for him to be written off at he was like 15-2, and people wasn't really messing with him, and for him to get to this point and him not wanting to lose his opportunity. This is going to be. I think this is going to be a difficult fight for Earl.
And he took 2 years off to boot, and it's definitely going to be difficult for Earl because the thing is, Earl's getting older, and he's constantly having these setbacks where he has to stop training, do rehab for whatever's injured, go through whatever prescription drugs he's prescribed, and then shake all that and then start training again. That's what's harder. And he's going into it. And what is he now? 30?
31.
Yeah, your late 20s is the worst time for any of that to happen because that's when you're basically at the peak of your power damn near. Now in the next 2 or 3 years is going to be it, and he's going to start declining. So we just got to see. Yeah, what, a not fight Crawford?
I mean, he going from one tough division to another. Like, I mean, Danny Garcia didn't really hit him in that fight. Ugas is going to hit him. So I'm interested. I want to see if he's going to walk down Ugas and see if he's going to really put some hands on him, or he's just going to box him and go to a UD. Which we know,
I hope he doesn't try to box Ugas. That would give Ugas the advantage. I hope he just puts the pressure on him. Like Ugas is not the type of guy to knock you out in one punch. He's not a concussive puncher, but he's the type of dude if you play with him, you're gonna get your ass whooped. Like Ray Robinson, like Ray Robinson was in there. Ray Robinson was in there playing around, bullshitting, fucked around and got stopped.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Ray Robinson is a solid boxer. He had good outings against Josh Kelly, and he got an unfair draw. I rewatched that fight. I thought he won it, and he fought another dude who got an unfair draw. But yeah, Ray Robinson was in there playing around, had his hands down, wasn't being aggressive with the jab. He was bullshitting. He fucked around and got stopped. That'll happen. You play Ugas.
Yeah. Especially if you sleep on them. If you sleep on them, and which I don't think Earl is doing. I think he has a really good coach. But Marcus Brown, I was rooting for Marcus Brown because of the coach that he had and because how meticulous and detailed Derrick James is, and I felt like he quit, but
he wasn't following instructions. That was the thing. It was very difficult to implement Derrick James' game plan on a puncher like Better Big because, Derrick James has never coached someone against that kind of person. Like I don't think has Derrick James even coached that light heavyweight
fight too.
Yeah,
that's his first. Yeah, and it was that first fight together.
Okay.
I think this is a huge moment for Earl right now. Because it obviously is going to be on pay-per-view, but people are going to be looking to see, are you the same Earl, man? And this is going to be, and if, say if the Crawford fight does happen, this is, say if his mindset is to go after Crawford next. If he looks like shit in this fight, people are going to be like, nah, he's not going to beat Crawford. You know what I mean? Like that, you know what I mean? If there's going to be any more momentum for that fight.
People saying that now.
It's going to be based on this. It's going to be based on this fight. Regardless of who Crawford has fought, whatever, but Crawford hasn't had any injuries or anything besides him getting shot. But that was really early in his career and that stuff. And so I think this is going to be Earl comes in and he looks like crap, then people are just going to write off that Crawford fight and be like, yeah, I don't think he's going to win. And the momentum of people wanting to see it obviously is dying right now, but it's really going to die if he looks like crap. And
a spectacular performance can lift that momentum right back up.
Absolutely.
Just like how it did with Sean Porter. The Sean Porter fight kind of had the buzz going back again. I think we're going to see something. Earl is going to be. I think he's going to put the pressure on Ugas. Ugas is a great fighter. Ugas is going to make him fight, but I think Earl can break him down and control that fight. So.
And if Earl, I was saying on Twitter, I said, if Earl, remember that looping left that he landed on Danny Garcia, and he landed it on like Danny Garcia's armpit, and he caught Danny off balance, and he made him wobble. If he could plant that right on Ugas' chin, he could probably put Ugas to rest. Because when Ugas was fighting Abel Ramos got some solid hooks off and rocked him in the 3rd and in the 12th, had him on skates. And I'm like, ooh, if Earl could get that shot off on Ugas, maybe once or even twice, he might fuck around and stop Ugas. Because Abel Ramos is not no fucking, he's not like a beast or anything, but he's a decent puncher, and he had Ugas like shaking and shit. It was just that Abel Ramos couldn't capitalize, didn't put his punches together, didn't really jab, and was concerned about Ugas' power for whatever reason. That was Abel Ramos' fight to lose. He fucked up, and he was getting outboxed and kept the distance with the jab the whole night.
I'm just excited to see Earl back, man. A lot of these things are setbacks. These setbacks have been, detrimental to his career, but he came back and he looked, for what it was, coming off a car accident, he looked pretty good against Danny. And some people might say, well, Danny's just Danny, and that's like, but Danny's been a top welterweight and a top 140 pounder, so you can't really say that.
The one thing I'm curious about, though, like, can we attribute the KO ratio to Blu-ray, Earl's competition at the time, or, like, both? Because, like, don't get me wrong, Blu-ray... Because don't get me wrong, Blu-ray, I'm not gonna take anything away from him because I'm not a professional trainer. But when he was talking about, like, the knockouts and stuff like that, like, who's more powerful between Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence and stuff... Yeah, I don't know. Just some of the stuff he was saying, like I like him. He seems cool. I feel like he knows what he's talking about, but I'm just wondering, like, what is the magic behind the training?
I personally
I think it's repetition.
Yeah, Earl said that they train a lot of core and they train a lot of lower body when they train. So
and I'm not sure if what him and Blu-ray was doing was an inconvenience to Earl, because it seems like this coach he's brought on board is coming to his house, is training him at his house, is making his meals at his house. So maybe also him being older and not being able to make the weight it's maybe harder for him to make the weight now. And maybe maybe what he was doing with Blu-ray, obviously he's putting on muscle. Maybe that's going to be harder for him to make 147 now, and they have to take a different approach now.
I think what you said first was probably the most correct thing, because Blu-ray does a lot of other stuff. Like he makes Patreon videos, he trains other people, he makes his own videos, stuff like that. And Errol Spence probably did need that one-on-one attention. So I definitely that definitely could be a factor, because that dude looks like Earl is his only client, whereas Blu-ray. Right. Yeah, whereas Blu-ray does a lot of other shit on the side and just happens to train Errol Spence, so that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah. It seems like Earl has to travel to him to get the workout in and then leave. It's not him coming to Earl. I don't know. But I really don't. I'm kind of suspicious of this guy he brought in, man. Like, this guy from Ireland, or he's from Canada somewhere. I've never heard of this guy before, but from reading through his website and that stuff like that, they do boxing, nutrition, and all those kind of things and that stuff. And they work with boxers and MMA guys as well. But I have not heard anything about this guy. And the videos seemed a bit cryptic to me. Like they didn't show a lot. And I think it's the same in the Regis Prograde videos as well. Like they didn't show a lot. They just showed, them hitting the bag and they, so I mean, I'm not really sure what this guy can do, but
I'm glad they're not showing a lot, to be honest. I'm glad they're not exposing their methods or anything like that, so it could just be, surprised based on whatever they do. So I'm happy about that. But you're right. That's why I was curious about like who else he trained before. But yeah, but I think you're definitely right on both counts. Like how this guy's kind of like a one size fits all type guy. He does the strength training, the conditioning, the meal planning. Then and he comes to Errol Spence's house, whereas Blu-ray like trains other people, does a lot of other shit. So Errol's probably like, nah, but I can't be driving all over the place and da. So yeah.
Right.
Oh damn. Okay, I hear what you said, D-Hive.
I don't know,
but the man, the results are there, right? 11 straight KOs. That has to mean something.
Who was the last fighter
for the Kell Brook fight?
That's what I'm asking. What was his last fight with Earl?
I said Lamont Peterson.
The Peterson fight.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I think Jerome was right, because when you look at Blu-rays, his training when he was training with Blu-ray, he was really big and shredded. So I think like you said, as he's getting older, it's harder for him to make that weight and maintain that muscle without draining himself or taking something away. Maybe that's why he stopped training with Blu-ray.
Yeah, Earl was saying like when he trains with Blu-ray that he's really tight. After training with him when he goes into when he was going into his fights, like he was really tight. And so I guess he implemented yoga into his regimen and things of that nature. But yeah, it's interesting. Like I like Blu-ray. It could be a multitude of things and that stuff like that. You know what I mean? Earl Heron, like the only reason you knocked out people is because you worked with Blu-ray. We want you to work with Blu-ray, and so on and so forth, and things like that. And
well, I don't think Earl would give in to bullshit like that. I at least I hope not. I would really hope that Earl wouldn't give in to like the public perception of some shit.
Yeah.
Blu-ray said that was coming from Earl's team. Like people on Earl's team was telling him that. That's what Blu-ray said in one of the interviews.
Oh, okay. Damn.
It's really free marketing as well for Blu-ray as well. I'm not sure I understand the videos that he's putting out right now. Of him previously working with Earl in the past and that stuff like that. And I'm not even sure his training prior to the Pacquiao fight contributed to him straightening his eye, because they said like you don't necessarily even have to be punched in the eye for what he had. Some doctor said it could have happened in the car accident, and it just wasn't detected in the fight with Danny Garcia, because that's not their procedures. They had different procedures in Las Vegas, but having that strenuous work of going from the boxing gym and then and going working out with Blu-ray and doing what Blu-ray does, and going back to the gym and then running and so on and so forth. Fucking Blu-ray workouts like hard as fuck, like hard as hell. Excuse my language, man. Like those was no chump workouts and that stuff. He doing one arm push-ups, backwards, one arm push-ups. You know, pull-ups with his legs in it. Like he's doing something I'm not accustomed to seeing.
Yeah, he had Earl doing 700 push-ups as well. So, and you never know, he could just be working with Blu-ray on the side. Because I remember Teak said he talked to some people from like that know Blu-ray and Earl, and he said that they were still in contact. So, you never know, man.
I mean, that could be also that could be the case too. They could be working right now, and they were just like, keep it like, don't say anything. You know what I mean? Like, who knows? You know.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe that was, maybe that's part of it. Like their team doesn't want anyone to think that Blu-ray is the sole key to their success, so they're trying to make it seem like they're not working with them while they're actually working with them. I don't know. I think that's foolishness. That they're just, they're just kind of trying to placate the public. But if that's what they want to do, let them go ahead. Shoot.
Because you think about it, is it Blu-ray the reason why Earl got the knockouts, or is it because of Derrick James because Earl got the knockouts?
Well, it's probably a combination. It's probably a combination. I would say, like the strength and conditioning that gave Earl the confidence, and then the game plan that Derrick James, would provide.
Right.
It's the strength and conditioning and the technique, I believe.
Yeah.
Because Earl wasn't doing no strength. He didn't do no strength and conditioning for Sean Porter, for Mikey Garcia. I think he didn't do any for Danny Garcia either. So
you got looped it in, and it's just like, do people want to see those? People want to see these knockouts? Is that what because that's what they were accustomed to seeing? They're like, well, you need to get Blu-ray back in so you can beat these guys out. We want to see these knockouts, or they just want to see Earl be the best Earl, and they feel as if when he was with Blu-ray, that was the best Earl.
It's definitely probably
I was impressed with Mikey Garcia, though. I would like for him to knock him out, but that was something I never seen.
Well, he like people like they don't like to mention that he almost stopped Mikey. He had almost stopped Danny, So because Mikey's corner was gonna stop it around the 9th.
Yeah, Mikey was mean by the shot.
Things. Yep.
And I'm interested.
They should have stopped that fight.
Yeah, and I think one thing that's unique about Earl is his volume of punches and his condition. And does Blu-ray condition him, or he just works out his muscles? Like, are they just doing push-ups and that stuff? Or does he get him out there and he's running
conditioning?
Okay.
Because, because Earl, they do the road work and whatnot. I think he does help with his conditioning. Because, like I said, Earl said they work out core and then, lower body. You know what I'm saying? So I think that does, but I think Earl is just a naturally conditioned, like he naturally has great stamina, because even without Blu-ray, I was just gonna say, even without Blu-ray, he threw 1,000 punches on Mikey. He went toe to toe with Sean Porter for 12 rounds.
Yeah.
So
and then in the Danny Garcia fight, after you get past the 5th round, 6th round, you see him start slowing down. Which was I was like, whoa! I was like, wait, hold on. I've never seen him pull off the gas. Like I've never seen that with Earl. So it was interesting to see that. So maybe it's something different with his body post car accident. That maybe he lost something in that accident.
Yeah.
Maybe he has to approach.
Well, I would say maybe it was just the fact that he was just coming off that car accident more than anything. Because now he's kind of been training. He's been on weight for a long time now. Like every interview that we've seen Earl since that Danny fight, he's been looking in shape and trim. So he's been doing his road work and he's been doing his work that he needs to do to stay close to that weight. So I think that was a factor because he wasn't doing anything. After the car accident, like that first interview back, he looked big. So
the biggest thing to me, I think that when it comes down to a Stanionis fight or even a potential Bud fight, I think the biggest thing to me is that Spence's speed. The speed, as far as what I'm seeing from his last few fights, in addition to now his latest training footage, especially when it comes to Crawford, that's a deep concern of mine. Just pure hand speed and speed of foot and speed of head movement. That is what worries me the most, and that is one of I think Earl Spence' biggest liabilities heading into a fight with either Stanionis or Endor Bud.
Yeah, I don't really think Stanionis. For me, I mean, Stanionis is a threat because he is a boxer and stuff like that. But I don't have him that high on my radar. I think Bruce Ennis is miles ahead of that guy. And I think he beats him convincingly in a fight.
Oh, no doubt, Boots is absolutely ahead of Stanionis, but I'm talking about Boots. Boots ain't gonna fight Spence though at 147. No. I think that Stanionis is probably gonna be next. I think he beats Butayev, and the IBF is probably gonna mandate that shit. I mean the WPA, my bad, not the IBF.
I feel like he has a similar style to Spence, where they flat-footed and he just goes forward. He can't fight going backwards. He goes straight forward. And hey, did you guys see that video with Earl with like all the he's back at the he was at the Mayo Clinic that he went to get checked after he went to after he had went to previously after he went after the accident, and he was on the bike and that shit, with all the wiring on his back and that stuff like that with the doctors and stuff.
All that equipment.
Yeah. I was curious to know why. Maybe obviously it had to be some kind of checkup to see how his body was doing after that. I think it was extremely smart. And I wonder if that was based his decision to bring in that guy off of that, where the doctors told him something.
Like I thought that, because I saw some videos. He was on a bike with the, he had the little respiratory thing on him. I thought that was like training. I think that's like training. Like a special type of, you got to go to like some high-end facility for that type of training. Yeah,
got you.
For like that, for respiratory, right. For like your conditioning. That's what I'm thinking that was. Like, so he's just trying to get, back into the groove, but add more implementation to your game because he now has that money to get to that type of technology. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
and Boots just actually signed up with Snack.
That's right, he did. Yeah,
I saw that.
I think Bill Haney did a great job too, because he came on some podcast with Blu-ray, and basically just to
he was on
explain
Champ side.
Yeah, just to explain what Snack does for Devin Haney, and it was basically he was saying it's a nutritional it's a supplement company for his son. Like they don't necessarily do his strength and conditioning. They do supplements for him and that stuff, like post workout recovery. That's what Snack really does. And so I think there was a misconception that was out there saying that Snack is, conditioning these guys and, getting them in that kind of shape, when that's not the truth. These fighters already have the strength and conditioning coaches, and they go see Snack after they work out with them to make sure that they recover quickly.
Yeah, because that's what when Blue was on Chip's side, that's what he thought. So I didn't know that as well. I didn't know they were just like, like after your workout, you go make a shake with like some of the supplement that they get, or some snacks or whatever. So
yeah. Think about it, man. The older you get, man, it's harder. It gets harder to recover, man.
Especially in boxing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that goes with everything, but that's why it bothers me when I see all these young ass fighters just ducking and not wanting to fight older dudes. Like there would never be a day in my life where I thought that motherfuckers would really be ducking David Avanesian. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me, bro? David Avanesian, my God. Conor Ben don't want to see him. Virgil Ortiz Jr. don't want to see him. I'm just like, bro. What the fuck?
Like the dude's garbage.
Man, like, they can mess
he's a low-level British fighter.
I don't think he's garbage, but he can. Them motherfuckers can beat him.
Because based off of what the Josh Kelly fight, because he beat Josh. Mm-hmm. I never was high on Josh Kelly anyway. Like I was just like, he got fast hands and that stuff. He just never.
Either my thing with Josh Kelly was like, you're not going to make it to that top level if you don't have a jab, Josh, and you too flashy, bro.
Yeah,
but that's the thing, though.
He was flashy in England though with British fighters.
To me, Josh Kelly had a jab. He just didn't use it. He's not active with it. He has a good jab, but he doesn't use it, and he wastes a lot of his energy trying to imitate Floyd and Roy Jones and all that bullshit that he's not.
Mm-hmm.
He wastes a lot of energy and then gets tired halfway. Like you brought up the Ray Robinson fight. Reason why I thought he lost is because after the 5th round, he basically just started fighting like the standard Mexican style, where you're leaning up, you got your gloves in the high guard, and you're leaning over on the dude because you're trying to lean on him and get some body shots in. He abandoned all his technique.
Right.
And he threw his jab in the trash as soon as he got tired.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. And Winston Campos. So yeah, but also think about Avanesian. Avanesian is a basic fighter. He's a basic fighter, uses the Soviet high guard, comes forward and throws some punches. He's not that great. He's not that skilled. However, he's shown you that if he lands on you, he has the ability to change the fucking fight. And the thing about Virgil Ortiz Jr. is that they fight in sort of a similar way, with Virgil Ortiz being more polished. And if they wind up getting into a shootout, that's a high risk situation for Virgil. And his team knows that, so they're like, all right, let's not even put him in that fucking situation. Let's just get him some easy southpaw experience.
You think he punched harder than Green Machine?
Virgil Ortiz Jr.?
Nah, David Avanesian.
Harder? I wouldn't say harder. I'd say about the same. It's just that Mean Machine has better boxing technique and he knows how to apply his power better.
He definitely rocked Virgil. Like he rocked him when they fought him. But I mean, Virgil overcame that and stuff like that. But I mean, yeah, it is interesting to see why people are. I'm not sure if I could call it avoiding, but like just declining to fight David Avanesian. Because he has 3 losses too. So I mean, I don't see why these guys are, he did get knocked out by he did get stopped by Green Machine.
By Green Beans, yeah.
Yeah. Green Beans didn't stop David Avanesian though. So
yeah, the thing is because David Avanesian, I think he's one of those fighters that have shown that. Because a lot of these dudes come in like ready to lose just because they're fighting a young undefeated prospect. David Avanesian with the Josh Kelly win came in with that mentality and showed people, I don't give a fuck who you are. I don't care if you're the next big thing. So was Josh Kelly. So let's get it. And when a lot of young prospects don't have that fear factor, they fucking lose.
Yeah.
Like look at Canelo versus Mayweather. Everyone Canelo fought was afraid of him, and he thought that because Mayweather was an old ass man, that he was going to lose. Mayweather was like, I don't give a fuck who you are, boy. I'm about to whoop your ass and move on with my life.
Yeah, he was 4 years. Yeah, he was 3 years from 40.
Yeah, and same with Bernard Hopkins and Kelly Pavlik. Kelly Pavlik was a fucking beast, and he was 26. And Bernard Hopkins was like 40 over 40 at the time. Bernard Hopkins was like, I don't give a fuck who you are, man. You better get your ass whooped, boy. And like a lot of fighters, when they lose that fear factor, they fucking lose.
Yeah.
Like Benavidez, the first legitimate 168 pounder that fights Benavidez, like they're not scared of him, gonna whoop Benavidez's ass.
Yeah, because Kyron Davis, everybody thought Kyron was gonna get stopped, and he did, but dude's coming from 154, and you can't legitimately get him out of there. He's standing toe to toe. He's bullying you. He's pushing him around. That's why I think Charlo will beat him.
Dude, look at Ronald Ellis. Ronald Ellis only got stopped by the referee. Ronald Ellis was 1 round away from winning the fight. I mean, not winning the fight, but completing the fight.
Yeah. I think one thing with David is that I think he tries for the knockout too. With his youth and him wanting to impress fans and him wanting a big fight and him being also so good. Sometimes in these fights, he tries for the knockout so bad that to where these fighters, right, they become in like survival mode and that stuff like that, where it's really hard for him to get the knockout. Like I feel like he wants to be this star so bad, like, and he's so young though. I think with David's like 24, like he wants that. He wants to be a star like right now and that stuff like that, and he just cannot get the big fights. Like he just cannot get the big fights. He's an excellent fighter and that stuff. But I feel like at times, like that Ronald Ellis fight, like he was just trying so hard. Like he's not really, I'm not sure if he's really sitting down on his punches and that stuff like that to get these knockouts,
Yeah, he just throws. He just gets in there and starts throwing, and then, he said, he says it in interviews that he enjoys getting knockouts, he enjoys getting stoppages. But the truth of the matter is, much like Virgil Ortiz Jr., he's not a one-punch knockout artist like Tank is. He's an accumulation guy. He's like, you know, he's more along. He's not Mike Tyson. He's more along the lines of like Sugar Shane Mosley, where he can punch and get you out of there with an accumulation, but it's never gonna be one shot.
Right.
And you know, he went the distance with fucking Gavril. Gavril was I believe Gavril was a natural 168 pounder, and Gavril dropped him in the first fight, and he had to rematch him to convince people that he won. I'm like, exactly. The moment he fights somebody who's supposed to be at 168, who's not afraid of him, he's gonna fucking lose.
I personally think, and I'll probably get some back. I'm not sure how you guys feel. I personally think outside of Tank Davis, or who's the thing is it? Mayweather Promotions, I feel like they match their fighters up tough. Whatever, like the fighters that they did have prior to that.
Yeah, they threw Malik Hawkins in there with Matias. I was like, damn, nigga. I was like, what did Malik do?
Right.
I was like, what did he do to deserve that?
Yeah, by Richard Hinton. Yeah, you know.
Yeah, Malik Hawkins must have been in the room talking shit, because when they was giving his ass to Super, I was like, oh my god, what the fuck did he do to deserve this shit? This shit, it was funny because like when the referee would stop the fight, he looked like he was surprised that he got his ass whipped, and I'm like, nah, nigga, we all knew he was getting served up. We were trying to figure out why.
You got Floyd mad, like what?
I was saying they sound like they were sick of his ass. Must have been back there talking shit, talking about I'm not getting enough money, Floyd. All you care about is Tank. Oh, okay, you fighting Matias next. He's like, what? That's just like when Teofimo was talking that shit about Triller. Bob Arum was like, "Oh, okay, that's how you feel. You'll be fighting Devin Haney next." He was like, "What, man? Oh. Stop playing, Bob." And he went right on back. Yeah, but over there at Mayweather, yeah, they be matching motherfuckers hard as hell. Like a few of their fights that they have on their YouTube, like they was matching Ladarius Miller, tough. They had
Jamel Herring. Yeah.
Then they had that one dude they got that actually beat Uskatagi.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they be matching motherfuckers hard as hell, except Tank.
They do. I think the guy from Tim Smith, I think he said something interesting when people were bashing their model and they put people on pay-per-view and that stuff like that. And he said that, like we had Deontay Wilder on free TV. We had Earl Spence on free TV. We had Gervonta Davis on free TV and that stuff like that. At them time, like they were, I wouldn't say, I mean, Deontay had the belt and that stuff like that, but Gervonta and Earl and that stuff, they had all these fighters that they put on pay-per-view. Like there were prospects at the time and that stuff like that. And he was like, people just, people didn't appreciate it at that time. And now they're on pay-per-view. He was like, I think people are overlooking the prospects that we have now that are eventually that are going to turn into really, really good fighters and that stuff. And he's like, I thought that was a really good point in that stuff. You know what I mean? Like we're not, at times we don't really appreciate the fights because we want a few. We don't. One, sometimes I don't know the background of the fighters, and two. Since I don't know the fighters, I'm not really interested in it. And so I think they're taking on that UFC model where they're trying to like build all these names up and put them on pay-per-view time after time after time. And it's gonna be interesting. They're gonna put on a lot of pay-per-views this year. They are. If you think they put on a lot of pay-per-views this year, they're gonna put on a lot of pay-per-views this year.
That's why I make sure, because a lot of the time, that's why I make sure to watch, or I try to make sure to watch the prelims to things and all the free TV stuff, because a lot of times you seeing your stars right there. I mean, you may not notice it, but like I was talking about David Morrell, when he first got over here and he was fighting at 175. I've been talking about Atif Oberton. I was talking about Frank Martin, and motherfuckers discovered all these people last week, and I'm like, I told you they was coming up. Y'all motherfuckers don't be watching them prelims.
Yeah.
Now everyone's like, oh shit, Frank Martin could beat all these people. I'm like, I've been telling y'all. They're like, oh shit, Atifo Burlington could beat all these people. I'm like, I've been.
I've been saying Frank Martin for a little minute too.
Oh, okay, well, yeah, I'm not talking about you specifically, Iron Man, but people like Atifo Burlington and David Morrell Jr. I'm like, I've been watching Morrell since he came down from 175, and it's like, now all of a sudden they're like, oh yeah, David Morrell the truth. I'm like, nah, y'all late. Don't try to hop on the train now.
I seen David Morrell with my own 2 eyes. I had to see with my own 2 eyes.
I'm still trying to understand David Morrell at this point. I'm still trying to understand.
I call him. I gave him a nickname. I call him Minnesota Morrell. We just gonna claim him.
Him being from Cuba, he'll be mad as fuck.
Yeah. Hey, I'm pretty sure he's probably miserable in Minnesota.
Nah,
right
real
he's
shit.
staying there,
Look,
man.
If you look at David Morrell,
man.
all his gear says the Armory on it, and that's the name of the venue here in Minnesota.
Oh my god, bro!
I think it's fucked up.
I don't know how you deal with the cold out there, man. It is cold out there, bro.
Man, it's cold.
Yeah,
as shit.
I saw it.
Man.
I was going through the sky. What they call it, like the skylines, like the little tunnels and that stuff, just to get to where I need to get to, man.
It's so
goddamn cold out there. I'm
it's
from
so
New York.
cold. You have ever been so cold that it feels hot?
Bro,
No, thank God.
Yeah, that's that below.
I live in
20 weather.
Texas, so I don't below 20.
It's so damn
It ain't
cold,
never
you
been
start
below
feeling hot.
nothing.
You like, damn, why
in
I feel hot in
Texas.
here? No, nigga, you just freezing to death. That's how
Yeah,
fucking
you
cold.
got hypothermia.
It's funny as fuck when they show Morrell in the Armory. They show him in all his like Gucci and chains and shit, and I'm like, damn, his family back in the gulag, looking at him like, when are you coming back
Hey,
for
what I
us?
like about the
He's like, nah, nigga.
what I like about the Armory is, you know, when fighters be doing like they pad work before they fight.
Then Black Cubans.
You know how fighters be doing their pad work before they fight?
Yeah.
At the Armory,
Yeah.
there's like some, like, I guess like the training room or whatever that they're in got like a big ass glass so the crowd can see them hitting the mitts, getting ready to fight.
Oh, that's cool.
So that's pretty
what's up.
lit. So I was watching David Morrell hit the mitts before he fought Fox, and I was like, oh shit, he throwing the bombs on that shit.
Yeah,
I already knew it was gonna be a short. That's why I told. It was crazy because my homeboy.
I was highly impressed with what he did.
My
Fox.
homeboy was coming. He came to the fight for the first time, and he didn't have no seats. He just got some stand-up tickets. So he was like, "Damn, man, my legs getting tired." I was like, "Bro, don't even trip. This shit about to be a short night."
I feel bad. I feel like an asshole.
What the fuck happened?
I feel like a fucking phony because I was talking to Alantez on Twitter because we follow each other. And I was like, oh man, you know, I wish you the best of luck knowing this nigga finna get demolished. So I was like, oh man. I was like, oh fuck. I was like, at first, cause yeah, he's like, oh for sure, for thing, and I'm just like, oh god, I don't know why the fuck PBC matched you with this crazy ass nigga. I was like, man. I was like,
Hey,
man,
I
you
know what
can't.
you mean. That's why I kind of felt the same way about Herring. I kind of felt
Dude,
the
I
same
didn't
way
even know
about
why-
Herring versus Shakur. Cause I was like, damn, Herring, you pretty cool, yo.
Yeah, I knew
God damn,
Shakur was
nigga.
gonna break him off. That's motherfuckers like, oh, I think the old veteran gonna do something. I'm like, man, you're not
Yeah,
gonna
that's
do
what I
shit
was
but
saying.
sit there
I
and
was
get
saying
beat
what
up.
you're saying.
Oh hell no! I knew he was gonna get UD'd. I thought he was gonna get UD'd, but he got stopped.
Yeah, I thought it was Shakur was just gonna school him to unanimous decision.
Yeah, he get in there and whoop
Stop
his
it.
ass.
Yo, I served in the Marine Corps with Jamel, bro. So I'm like, I've watched Shakur and I just know how good he is and that stuff like that. So I understand when you mean like when you tell someone like, bro, you know what I mean? Best luck. I know you can do this and that stuff. Like in the back of your mind, you're like, yo, damn, man, this dude's about to get fucking.
It's like when you know one of your homeboys gotta fight somebody that you know they can't whoop, but you gotta hype them up anyway. You're like, yeah, man, I know they were, just shoot the jab, do the overhand right. The whole time you're like, this nigga about to get destroyed. What the
You
fuck?
better tackle that motherfucker.
You better bring that.
Hey,
the Marines
Hey,
with
what's the
Jamel?
funniest
Roundhouse
shit you
kick
heard
him.
in the corner? in
in, in a professional fight.
yeah.
You heard somebody said that in the corner.
Whatever fucking Tiafimo Senior said to Tiafimo in
What I think the funniest shit I heard was Tiafimo father said to Tiafimo, he was like, "Go knock him out, bro." Like, if my coach told me some shit like that, bro, I'd have been like, bro, I'm finding a new coach as soon as this shit's over with, bro.
Yo, he reminded me of Danny Garcia's father. He's like, Danny,
yes, that's what I always say.
Danny, come on, you gotta
come on, Danny.
Danny, what's going on? I'm like, dude, where is the instruction? Where's the instructions, man? Like, you're not getting any instructions.
Shit I've ever heard in the corner is when Angel Garcia was coaching Danny against Sean Porter, and he was like, "If you don't throw the fucking overhand, I'm gonna hit you with the overhand." I was like, "Nigga, what the fuck are you doing?" I was like, "Bro, calm the fuck down. It's not even that serious."
I remember because they painted that fight as a like father versus father, son versus son fight.
It was crazy, man. I don't know how like these guys have not, and maybe they have, but have not checked their fathers. Like, dude, chill out, man.
Nah, Angel Garcia, I feel like
I'll beat you down, man. You like, leave me alone.
I feel like Angel Garcia is kind of like Marvin Gaye's dad. Like if Danny try to fire, he'll come to the house with a pistol and like shoot Danny on some drunk shit. I feel like that's why he just like, let me go ahead and get this fight together so me and Dad can start working. I feel like he doesn't even like his father as a coach.
Scarface shit.
Yeah, like he'll come to the house high on purpose. He'll come to the house high on coke on purpose so he can like have an excuse, and he'll fuck around and shoot Danny.
Yo, you ever got the feeling that Danny did that?
What?
Yo, you ever got that feeling that Danny was doing coke at one point?
I'm pretty sure, man. They're Puerto Rican. They probably do coke shit. They probably
something about when someone constantly touching their. Yo, there's something about when someone's constantly nose. When they constantly touching their nose, man, I start to think, man, like, yo, this dude's lines, man.
You can. That's my point. that's my whole point. I know they be back there doing coke.
Y'all see AB got a whatchamacallit?
Got an OnlyFans charging niggas $50 a month.
He said, "Go come see your favorite." He said, "Come see your favorite celebrity giving up that dough." He said, "Come see your favorite celebrity giving that top."
The bitch that tried to blackmail AB must feel super stupid now because he put like the whole sex tape she was taking clips of on the OnlyFans, and it's like, wow, bitch, you backfired yourself into that. Now AB gonna get paid off your dumb ass.
It's so crazy, but
yeah, AB.
Come on, AB. Come on, man.
I mean, I hope AB's not currently doing so, but you know damn well back in the days party. Anyway, don't Garcia and them live in New York?
No, they live in Miami.
They live in Miami. If they live in Miami, come on, Cry. You know they doing coke, bro. In Miami.
Danny moved to Miami. I'm not sure about his parents, but he moved to Miami.
Well, Angel Garcia does coke wherever he's at, but if Danny Garcia is in Miami, come on, you know he getting a little bit.
Yeah, Danny kept touching his nose. He kept sniffling. He's like, yo, like he kept hitting him with the pointer finger and thumb, like, yo, hey, yeah. I was like, yo, this dude maybe.
Him and Fury probably snort coke together.
You know Fury used to
keep hitting that nose, man. I'm like, hold up.
Wonder how much. Fury probably snorting coke right now, as we speak.
Yeah, Fury and BJS probably fucking holding hands doing lines in a fucking weird bathroom of the back of a restaurant where all they serve is fish and chips. Goofy ass niggas.
Fuck
yo, he
guys.
probably could get away with it for right now though. Like he got past his. I think he got past his toughest test at the point and that stuff. I think Usyk is going to be a different test for him because
he's not gonna fight Usyk. You're not gonna fight
Usyk. High on Usyk, man. I think Usyk is the real deal, man. He's not. I think he's the.
Yeah, Usyk definitely
I
is.
think he's the Evander Holyfield of this era right now, man. I think Usyk is nothing to play with, man. You can laugh at him. He's small. He came from cruiserweight, but his mentality, you're gonna have to go kill that guy because he's gonna beat in your face the whole night. The whole night.
Psychologically, he's cool, but I think his reputation is more of what the fans have put out there for him than what he's actually put out there for him. Because the thing about Usyk is that in his fights where he, especially at Cruiser when he was fighting Briedis and Gassiev, the moment you put some pressure on him, he folded and it went into the high guard. That's what he did, and he did the same thing with AJ.
He goes back like he goes with the punches.
Yeah, but if you put him on the back foot, all he can do is jab and then go into the high guard. AJ didn't fight like a big man. Now, I'm not saying AJ's going to win again, but I am saying that AJ had and has all the tools that he needs to beat Usyk. But if he doesn't assemble them in the right order, then he's just going to get taken out.
Yeah, it's that chin that worries me, man. That was the one thing that went to the fight. Is like his chin. Once he gets tapped, man, it's you know, he can't even bluff, man.
Yeah, he has no poker face, bro. You fucking bump into him too hard, he'll be falling all over the place. Fucking terrible.
Y'all see what Usyk got him doing now? He claiming Crenshaw.
Yeah, he over here talking about Larry Hoover and fucking Tookie Williams and all them niggas. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, bro?
He's sitting on the porch step.
Yeah, he beat the fucking British out of AJ. Fucking embarrassment, bro.
Man, I'm interested to see what he got, what the guy's gonna do, man. He's working with Floyd Mayweather, so.
I don't even know. Is Floyd Mayweather really coaching them? Because the thing is, Floyd Mayweather is not the coach you need to be the guy like Usyk. Because Floyd Mayweather is a boxer. He needs to go down to fucking Freddie Roach in LA and teach you how to jump on a nigga. So just run at him with punches. Just uppercuts, overhand rights, just run at his ass and just lay on him. Just jump on him. WWE's there. Like, he need to go with Freddie Roach.
AJ, I feel like if Floyd's your coach, I feel like he's extremely tough on you. Like, there's a certain mental place that you have to be in if you are to train with Floyd Mayweather, because I think he's an image of it. I think he does what his father does. His father taught him and that stuff like that. And if you aren't a fighter that isn't mentally tough and that stuff, you can be broken by a person like that.
Like, if you don't do it like Floyd, he's gonna talk shit. If you don't do it just like he do, he's gonna talk shit. And AJ big slow ass. And that's what I'm saying. AJ big slow ass ain't doing nothing like Floyd. He's not fast. He don't move his head. He pauses jab instead of shooting it. Like he I bet not see him Philly show. If he comes back and he looks like Tiafimo on that bullshit Philly show, I'm turning the TV off. I'm gonna cut this shit off. I'm gonna be like, man, get your stupid ass out of here and get knocked out.
It'd be impressive if he go in there and he beat him. But I mean, Usyk has not. Did you have Usyk going to this fight? Did you have Usyk? Were you thinking he was gonna lose?
No, hell no. I picked Usyk by decision.
I thought AJ was going opposite out.
I thought he was gonna stop AJ. What about you, Art?
No, I mean, I thought AJ was gonna stop Usyk, but I didn't know he was gonna go in there and do what he did, and that's what made me mad.
Yo, his inside game, his mid-range game is nuts, man.
That's all he can do. Because at cruiserweight, all he's fought is big slow punchers and Bellew and Hunter, and that's all he can do with big slow punches. Because he can't get too close because of the power differential. But yeah, he learns his distance and then just lets his hands go. He jabs you. Yeah, dances around and then shoots it straight left.
He's so close to danger, but he's so like far away from it to where like I think mentally it starts to wear on you. Like, yo, I'm trying to hit this fucking dude, Joe, and I can't hit him or I can't set him up. Like, it's a lot of fame with him and so on and so forth and that stuff. And so like I think he's surpassed Lomachenko by miles, man. Like, he's way better than Lomachenko.
He's what they say Lomachenko is. Usyk.
Yeah, exactly. Usyk is what they're actually having Lomachenko to be. Usyk didn't come into the game and lose to motherfuckers he wasn't supposed to be losing to. That'd be like if Usyk fucking lost to like Tony Bellew or Michael Hunter or some shit. Like, nah, you're not supposed to lose to them niggas, man. Yeah. Over here getting beat up by Uber driving beer thieves. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, that was alright.
I'm gonna tell you this.
At that time.
I'm gonna tell you this: if Usyk lose to, I mean, if Joshua lose to Usyk again, Joshua got to come see Wilder.
Oh yeah, and that fight's gonna suck. That fight's gonna, and he's gonna get knocked out. But
Yeah, he's gonna get fucking destroyed.
Oh, he doesn't have a chin, man. That's the thing about it, and that's the thing. That's the unique thing about Fury. But he get knocked down. Fury get back up. And, I'm like, God damn, like.
That's that coke. That's that coke you been storing. All that coke.
And obviously the PEDs they be using, the stimulants. It's just like Canelo got that Roy chin. Nothing you do gonna do anything.
The coke and the PEDs has made it some super soldier serum in his blood. So
yeah, it's just the stimulant.
You can knock him down, but he's gonna come back and pop right back up.
Yeah, it's just the stimulants. Like you're constantly it's hard. Like you can't be unconscious because of the damn stimulants.
Yeah, I know Deontay felt good when he knocked him down.
We walked away with confidence. We thought it was over.
When he got up, Deontay like, God damn. Why don't he just stay
That
down,
dude was
man?
unconscious. Fury was knocked out. Out. He said it himself. He was unconscious.
Yeah.
That's so crazy about it too.
The counts were long as well. I mean, and you can't, you got certain people that they go, no, they did it right, and it's just like, no.
These dudes don't like Wilder.
Yeah,
These dudes don't like Wilder, and they don't know what they talking about.
They want the all white heavyweight era.
Dude, like they want.
They do, and they're not gonna get it.
They love
well, AJ don't get his fucking shit together and learn how to throw his fucking hands.
But the AJ should have been fought Wilder for that money. That's his fault. Him and Eddie Hearn, listening to Eddie Hearn, dumbass.
Well, I mean,
let Deontay knock him out. He ain't getting. Like he ain't never been. Deontay gonna flatline him. That's it.
They did that. They did that because they saw how AJ was with Klitschko, because Klitschko was able to drop him. And the moment they saw that, they were like, okay, so my man's, I mean, it is Klitschko, but it's 40-year-old Klitschko. They're like, okay, so my man's chin is not, the greatest. He's susceptible to that. And then with the Ruiz situation, so they were like, let's keep him away from Wilder. The Ruiz situation confirmed that shit. One little temple shot, this man was on fucking ice skates. I was like, oh my God. When I saw that, because I had AJ by stoppage, and I was like, oh, AJ going, man, this done. I don't even know why we're here. This nigga clipped him on the side of the head. Had this man turned into the fucking ice capades, and next thing you know, he quit him.
You want to go back?
I was like, boy. He just sat there and spit his mouthpiece off. I was like, get your pussy ass out here, man. Like, I wasn't even a fan of AJ at the time, but after that fight, I definitely wasn't a fan. I was like, oh, hell no. This nigga went out. This motherfucker was eating McDonald's before the fight. You lose to this.
Dude.
I was like,
different kind of temperature in America, man, when you fight in America, man.
Yeah, that was
from another country.
And the thing is that a lot of dudes are quitting him. Like AJ, he completely quit. That's what made me mad. Like the dude, he spit his mouthpiece up, and then he got up and acting like, man, why'd you do that? Come on, bro. Come on,
he
bro.
hit the ropes.
Like, dude, you know what you were doing.
He picked his hands up off the ropes like,
come on, bro. You're chatting shit, mate. Come on, bro. I can't believe you've done this.
It's like, you know damn well you didn't want Ruiz no more. You quit. Ruiz got knocked down. His fucking forehead was bleeding because he got punched so hard. He got up. He was like, fuck it, let's do it. I ain't got nothing to lose. AJ get one temple punch. Oh, well, I think we should just throw in the bloody towel. I can't do it. Wave the white flag. It's over. It's over.
Where was Larry Hoover then? Where was Nip then? The marathon continues, right, AJ?
He just Googled a bunch of street niggas and was like, all right, let me just go on the internet and say some shit.
That's why he's such a cornball, man. Like, them British dudes are so corny.
I just find it funny how they threw AJ in the dumpster so quick. As soon right when Usyk versus AJ got scheduled, the whole UK was Team Usyk. And then when AJ got his ass whooped, they over here telling us, we Americans, black Americans, are like, oh, your boy AJ lost. I'm like, our boy AJ, what the fuck is y'all talking
That's
about?
y'all boy.
We have never
Y'all
claimed.
boy.
We have never claimed AJ. What the fuck are you saying? The UK just lost 3 of their belts to fucking Ukraine. Fuck you. You take that L. They're just like, oh, at least Usyk's white, so shit, we're still good. I'm like, nah, UK lost 3 of their fucking belts, bro. You only got 1 left.
Cause Fury can't even fight over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Like where he's gonna fight? I mean, where he's gonna fight Dylan White from? Yo, where is Fury from, man? They say, is he? What is he? Where is he from?
Fury's from, I think he's from Britain. Let me look it up though. I think he is from England proper. He's not like from Scotland.
Yeah, because he's a gypsy king and he's a traveler. So I never really understood that. I never really researched it.
Yeah, he's from Manchester. He's a suburban kid. He's from fucking Manchester, the suburbs. But no, the gypsies, it's not an ethnicity. It's just a group of individuals that, in ancient times, they were nomadic people that were known going from population to population and swindling the natives. That's why they had to travel so often, because they would put on these little games. They were the original snake oil salesmen. They would sell you things that didn't work. They would steal your money.
They'll gather all the money in the town and tell you that a circus is coming on a certain day.
Yeah, shit like
So it
that.
makes perfect
Like,
sense
And they'll
why
take
he
the
acts
money
this
and just
way.
be gone, and then you would think the circus is coming to town in the next couple days, and next you know they never come.
dude, look up the root word gyp. Gyp, GYP, in the Oxford English Dictionary is to cheat. It's a verb. It's to cheat. So this dude has literally been telling the planet he's a fucking cheater his entire career. Nobody has listened.
Yeah.
That's the power. That's
complexion for protection.
that's just the power. That's the power of whiteness. Like if you watch the Epstein documentary, the story about how Epstein got rich is literally just him being white in the right places. Motherfuckers literally just give this dude shit. This dude got fired from every job he was legitimately hired at because he was so horrible. But because he was white and looked handsome right next to the right people, he just kept getting handed shit. That's true. That's true. He was Jewish as well. But you know, a lot of Jews in America are just white folks, just European converts anyway. So you know, most of these motherfuckers ain't from Israel for real. Most of these dudes are just European fucking Holocaust survivors or people who fled Europe before the Holocaust even happened. So yeah, if you just look at Epstein, it's a lot like Fury. He just white in the right places. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that's what they do. That's what gypsies are famous for. They're not even an ethnic group. They're their own little sect of individual. It's like the nomads. Nomads aren't an ethnicity. It's just a group you practice something in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're known for a particular lifestyle. I think ethnically, but so am I. But I don't claim that shit because I'm from the United States.
I'm gay. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, isn't
Well, he should do what now?
I think they'll receive him with open arms, bro. I think they will.
Is it AJ Nigerian too?
AJ's Nigerian.
Trust me, if D-Hive, and Allen got a genetics test, they'll probably say we from Africa too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did one of those.
Your ancestry tree.
Yeah, I did the 23andMe thing. Yeah, my girl bought me that for one of my birthdays, and I actually did it, and it says that I'm like 98% Nigerian.
Yeah,
I didn't even do that. My girl brought me that. I was like, I'm not fucking swabbing my mouth or whatever and sending that back to a lab, man.
I think all that stuff.
I do ancestry.com though, man. How the 100 years?
Well, I can track my own family tree back 100 years. That's not long enough, then, because 100 years, I know exactly what we was
Two
doing.
generations.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Like in
right, right.
1922, my grandfather, I think, was like 2 years from being born, and I know there was sharecropping and shit.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah,
cool.
and that's why the fuck we deserve reparations, nigga.
Facts. We
We
do.
deserve
Exactly.
reparations because every other group got reparations. We're the only group that hasn't been compensated.
Yeah, the Jews. So
For Jews, fuck that. Former slave owners got reparations for lost slaves for losing the war. Imagine getting paid by a government who just whooped your ass. You
yeah, broke
you
you off.
you
Like, hey, here you go. There you go.
you rebelled. You committed the you committed the ultimate act of treason against the government. That government gave you a paycheck because you lost. Do you do you know how white you gotta be to do some shit like that? You could break the law, and the government whose law you broke compensate you for the fucking inconvenience of whooping your ass.
You think about it, those people that they compensated probably weren't even fighting in the war. They're probably just in their big houses,
It's
just
legal.
chilling.
I don't even understand why it's legal to have a Confederate flag. Isn't the Confederate against America? Anti?
Literally, the whole Civil War is based on treason. Yeah, the Confederacy was treason.
The flag should be all white though. That's what it should be.
The South was against literally what it is right now, right?
No, it was more about economics than anything.
Yeah, I know.
It was, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like they weren't really trying to get us out because they thought what was happening. They ain't really care.
I always laugh.
That cotton industry was getting money.
yep.
Yeah, because the North was more mechanized and had more educated people, so they had a variety of ways to get money. But down there in the South, when they called it the skin trade, when the primary currency was niggas, they were like, wait, how are we supposed to be getting money? Y'all, we don't got college down here. We trade and work them. This is cotton. This is how we get it done. Y'all buy our cotton, but y'all don't like the way we getting it. Ain't that a bitch? It was funny too, because like you know how like Georgetown and all these universities are quote unquote discovering that they have roots from slavery. I'm like, look,
Yeah.
before like 1925, how y'all think niggas was getting money? They was fucking slavery, bro.
All right, what type of question is that? Didn't they say Chase Bank started from slavery?
All that shit started from slavery. Like I said, before the Great Depression, how y'all think niggas was getting money? Fucking slavery. Even after slavery ended, when they had those freedmen contracts, they were basically slavery. Sharecropping, slavery, legal slavery. Jim Crow, all slavery. I'm like, yeah, man, before the deregulation of the financial industry that led up to the Great Depression, how y'all think niggas was getting money? It was slavery. Essentially, yeah, sharecropping is the situation in which your entire financial and physical subsistence is hedged upon you working for a farmer, because you couldn't legally do anything. You couldn't legally vote, own land. You couldn't own firearms. You couldn't have access to banks and shit. So yeah, you had to basically work for a farmer for subsistence, and they would provide you with a small plot to work and feed yourself, and you would live on the land. And it's basically slavery.
That's what happened after they released the slaves.
Well, you said you're Puerto Rican, so are you light skinned enough to like blend in and pass for white, or like are you clearly Puerto Rican? Oh, you dark skinned? Oh, so you like coffee with some cream in it? Yeah, you wouldn't pass. You too dark. You fuck around and get slaughtered. Yeah, nah.
The sun hit you. It's a wrap.
Yeah, you fuck around. You'd have to announce that you're not black. But like, wait, no, Puerto Rican. See, that's different.
Me no black, no puppy.
The only thing that we need to do is at least, maybe like academy.
Right.
You better start speaking Spanish. You better start speaking Spanish so they have an excuse not to shoot first. Be like, wait, hold on. You speaking Spanish?
How's this speaking Spanish?
Yeah. That's exactly what they did though. Like once they released everyone and that stuff, they had no means of making money, and so they put up the they set up that sharecropping and that stuff, and they all came. And I'm gonna say they all came back, but they came back to make money, and then they lived back on their slave plantations.
Yeah.
To make money.
Plantation.
Mm. Yeah. Napoleon. No, oh, is it Napoleon? That's what it was.
Those plantations are beautiful too. When I get money, I'm gonna buy one day just to live on. Except I'm gonna put a big ass gate around it because I don't like how there's no gating or fences. Like niggas are super comfortable with just like having free grounds. I'm like, no, nigga, fuck that. And it's gonna be poetic. It's gonna be poetic justice. It's gonna be poetic justice too.
You gonna have your plantation next thing you know, there'll be dolls running around there, bitch.
Yeah, exactly. I haven't nobody fuck my shit up. It's gonna be poetic too, because I'm gonna have white servants and shit. Except I'm gonna keep all my valuables locked up because I know motherfuckers gonna steal from me and try to poison me and shit.
You gonna have L Dog as a butler?
Oh, L Dog just gonna get shot. L Dog just gonna get murked off top. Like as an example, I'm not even taking no chances. He be the type of dude try to poison me or some shit. You're getting murked. As an example to the rest of my staff, and all y'all better act right. None of y'all gonna be on cooking responsibilities. None of y'all gonna be on like doing my clothes or shit like that. It's gonna be all field work. I'm gonna just make up tasks for them to do. Like, hey, move those bricks from this side to this side, and then move it back from that side to this side for like no fucking reason.
Hey,
wash my car and shit.
You think you gonna have some of them coons from Boxing Twitter working for you?
No, they're getting killed too. They getting killed. They're getting killed specifically to show the community why cooning is garbage. And you know now I see why a lot of them niggas live in like little safe areas, like where there's no open carry, like the good parts of DC and New York. Because I'm like, man, I can't wait till I catch y'all slipping in like an open carry area. I'm gonna quote unquote defend myself and get rid of some of y'all. Y'all are fucking garbage, bro. Yeah, I'm gonna stand my ground on you, dumbass. Like if I ever catch like Ring Ding across the Maryland border, I'm lighting his dumb ass up. I swear to God.
Bro, everybody don't like that guy personally. I don't know.
Who Ring Ding?
Yeah.
He's garbage, dude. He's a fucking match. He looks like a fucking llama. He looks like nigga Emperor Cusco when he was a fucking llama, bro. I made that meme about him, and he fucking started spamming my Twitter for like 3-4 hours. I was like, dude, you claim you have a wife and kids, and I'm waking up to my Twitter from tweets from you at like 2 a.m. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
That whole arbitration shit, that nigga was making hella memes about me, bro. I remember it was so funny. I swear, one of the funniest days ever. It was right before the day before the arbitration, and Tyson Fury posted that clip about him, or that video of him saying that he's fighting in Saudi Arabia. Man, that dude spamming the shit out of me, making memes. Everybody was laughing at me. Art, man, look how stupid you look. Tyson Fury said the fight is going to happen in Saudi Arabia. And then the next morning, the arbitration ruling came in. Man, that shit was so funny, dude. Everybody was looking like, wow, what the fuck? Niggas got sad. And that's how my shit just blew up, because niggas was like, wow, we really just sat here and clowned him less than 24 hours.
With him, though,
just
because
looked like a fucking dumbass for believing he's a coke addict.
with him though, because like he pays like he lives like a below middle class lifestyle of YouTube. Like that's how he pays his rent and keeps gas in his car. I understand why he does the shit that he does, but the rest of y'all niggas, y'all not getting any bread off of this shit. Dude, these people fucking cosplay as boxing experts on boxing Twitter, like they're really making bank off of like affiliate marketing or some shit. Like none of y'all are getting rewarded off this. Yeah, these motherfuckers treat boxing Twitter like it's a fucking job. I'm like, dude, they take this shit so fucking serious, and they get shit wrong all the time. It's just no one points it out to them because it's not that deep.
The only person I know on boxing Twitter that's making moves, and shout out to Lefty, man, for Chicken Talk. That's the only person I know that built something from the ground up, and now he be having some real official people on there, not just in the boxing game, but like in the music world and shit. That's the only person I know that's actually making moves in boxing Twitter. The rest of them dudes,
they just on his dick. They just on his sack. Like I don't know if I'm not sure if he's getting any money off it or if it's just like a good pastime. But yeah, like he has a lot of certified people on there, and a lot of people that just like are cool with Lefty think that they're like vicariously him, and it's like no, you're just a regular ass dude. Like Vivi, like I said, Vivi went from racist troll in Artman's chat to fucking Lefty's like a dingleberry on Lefty's asshole. I'm just like
playing a double agent role.
Exactly. That's why I don't go on. That's why I don't go on that fucking talk show. I'm like, dude, a lot of these dudes are former L Dogs. That's why L Dog hates Vivi because
this nigga L Dog was like, that wasn't me who said that racist shit.
That's why. But bro, that's why L Dog hates Vivi because Vivi was able to cross over. L Dog was so obvious in the beginning, nobody's fucking with him like that. But Vivi was able to be a double agent.
Fuck you, L Dog. Fuck you. You bitch ass.
Yeah, because he'll come in on that Shakur Stevenson shit, and then when y'all start talking about Wilder and black shit,
shit.
Some other shit.
Shakur Stevenson is my favorite fighter. That's like saying, oh yeah, I have a black friend, therefore I'm not racist.
Hey, some tweet had me rolling. Somebody said there's a from a Hagler to Lomachenko pipeline, MAGA pipeline, something like that.
Yeah. It's true. They say, "Oh, Hagler was great," and then it goes from Hagler to like Triple G to Lomachenko. It goes Hagler was fantastic, but Triple G will stop him. Lomachenko beats all the black people. That's how the pipeline goes.
Like they'll have a Muhammad Ali as their profile picture, but talk hella shit.
Or the dudes have Sugar Ray Leonard as their profile pictures, or King Tony, or something like that.
Yeah, they'll have Mike Tyson with coke on his nose as their profile picture, and then their area will be like UK. I'm like, dude, get the fuck out of here, man.
Thing is that do people actually think that Loma would be able to fuck with Pretty Boy?
No, I hope not. Lomachenko even said that he wouldn't be able to do anything with Floyd. He said, I don't know how to beat him. I'd have to see in the ring.
Fans were saying it though.
Yeah,
that's just priceless.
Emphatically.
They were saying Lomachenko beats Pretty Boy Floyd?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, man.
That's the craziest shit I've ever heard.
Floyd from 130 to 140. Shit, I said Floyd will beat all these dudes from 130 to 140 now.
Yeah, Pretty Boy will smoke everybody. Pretty Boy beat Tank, Haney, Teofimo, Lomachenko, Shakur Stevenson. He'd beat Tank, bro. But he'll beat Tank. He'll
Pretty Boy ain't beating the Can Man, I know that.
He would have beat AB's ass.
Definitely beat AB.
He would have beat AB.
Floyd at 135 versus AB at 35.
Absolutely.
Florida, Pretty Boy. Let me tell you, Pretty Boy would decision Tank and decision Devin Haney. Everybody else, including AB, he fucking stops. Lomachenko stops. Teofimo stops. Shakur Stevenson stops. Frank Martin stops. El Rayo stops. So he stops all these niggas, man.
Damn, that's a tough right there. I don't know if
he stops.
I don't know about Shakur Stevenson.
He'll stop Shakur.
He'll stop
You think he'll beat Gary Russell?
I think Frank, he can stop Frank.
Hell, nigga. Tank will beat Gary Russell right now.
Tank?
if Gary Russell take his ass out of that division, go to 135, Tank will fold that ass. Quote me on it. Quote me on the shit.
That's what I want to see.
Do you think he doesn't take those fights because people forget so fast that it wouldn't do anything for his star power?
The Tank?
Yeah. He doesn't take those fights. Like, man.
Well, first of all, Tank is not in charge of his career.
I wouldn't do it. I don't care. Oh yeah.
Tank not in charge of his career. They over there at Mayweather and PBC they don't want him to get too much work. And now Gary Russell is a risky fight, but the thing is, like, Tank will fall Gary. Gary's been at 126 forever, and he just coming up to one. No, Tank will fall Gary Russell, and I wish Tank fucking believed it.
You know the crazy thing about it is that I watched this podcast called Full Sin Podcast, something like that, like yesterday, and they were doing an interview with Tank prior to his Isaac Cruz fight, and he talked about when he blew up in the past, like when he didn't make weight, he lost his belt, and so on and so forth. It was all because of him drinking. So I wonder if his team knew that he was out there partying, drinking, living this lifestyle, and they're like, nah, do not put him in with don't put him in with Lomachenko, no Devin, these people that's living this life and that stuff like that, because they knew he was out there living that party life, drinking that stuff like that. Now he isn't drinking anymore. Obviously, you can see it. You know what I mean? He's on he's been slim for the past, let's say, year and a half, and that stuff like that. But he admitted that, in the past, yeah, he was drinking that stuff. He was waking up with bad hangovers, you know what I mean, and shit and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, even from childhood, Tank always admits that he was a little badass kid, and he, and that translates to being a little badass adult. But yeah, I'm glad he got his shit. I'm glad he got his shit straight, and he ain't drinking no more, which is probably why he can make 135 a little bit easier. But look, it's time to put in some work, man. He been bullshitting with these, random ass, raggedy ass niggas, and that's been cool. You knocking motherfuckers' heads off, but it's time to put in some work, bro.
Yo, so if he goes in the ring and he's pay-per-view and he's not fighting an elite fighter, you buying the pay-per-view? You buying the pay-per-view?
It depends who's on the card, but no, he not. He'll probably fight Rolly next.
Yeah.
And after that, I don't know what the fuck he's gonna do.
Why haven't you say he's fighting Frank Martin next?
Because he's not. I'll hear him probably like, nigga. Nah, homie. Frank Martin, you need to fight two motherfuckers to get ready for. I don't know what they're doing, because Tank is 27, and I'm like, so he's already hitting his prime pretty much, and I'm like, what y'all gonna do? Wait till he's fucking 35 and the certifieds are 25, and then be like, oh, now Tank's ready? Like, that's dumb.
No, he's in his prime right now.
He's
in his prime right now. Now you're coming out your prime, and when you go into like your mid 30s, 34, 33, 34, you're probably leaving your prime. Prime right now, man.
Yeah, as a male,
Devin Haney is in his prime right now.
And it's not. I don't even think when people say, well, they don't believe in Tank, I don't think that's it. They just have that business model. Like,
I don't think that they believe in Tank in certain situations. It depends. Like, for example, Tevin Farmer, that's just business. They don't want to pay Tevin Farmer no motherfucking $5 million. For what? Tevin Farmer will get annihilated. That would be Tevin Farmer's last fucking fight, fucking with Tank. That's just business. But when it comes to Devin Haney and, like, Lomachenkos of the world, they're probably like, yeah, it might be a little bit too much work. We don't want to put that on Tank right now. Yeah. That might be a little bit too much work. Or they need to see Lomachenko, get a little bit older, like maybe 35, 36. They're like, all right, go ahead and smoke his ass and retire him.
Leonard Delaby's getting on my fucking nerves.
Because I feel like Devin will beat him up the whole fight. Like, I don't think Tank can.
That's 50-50.
Exactly.
The whole fight.
Exactly. It is a 50-50, but Tank got to land a good shot on Devin. I don't think he's going to.
And I don't think he got the. I don't think he doesn't have the. Tank doesn't have the tank to keep up with Devin.
He don't. And what they said today was cap. They was talking about, Mayweather talking about, I signed Tank because of what I saw on sparring. I'm like, nigga, you signed Tank because he was the only one down the sign between the two of them. Get the fuck out of here. Haney saw the bullshit writing on the wall from the Mickey Bay store. He was like, nah, I want to be my own man. And Tank was the only one cool that wanted to be up under Mayweather's nuts. Stop capping Mayweather.
Hell yeah.
Bunch of cap on that interview talking about also I make smart investments and I saw Tank and Haney sparring and I just picked Tank because I saw the potential.
Did you see that Bill Haney interview?
Tank is a hell of a fighter. Like
Exactly.
Did you see that Bill Haney interview that dropped a couple of days ago?
With who?
With who was there? I'm not gonna put the podcast, but what he said is that Devin beat the shit out of Floyd.
What?
Yes. Bill Haney said it on live. He said Devin beat the shit out of him. He beat the shit out of him. Yes.
Yeah.
He said that live. He said Earl
was putting hands on Floyd too.
Devin beat the shit out of him, and Floyd knew that it was done. It was over for him. He couldn't compete. He couldn't compete with these boys no more.
Damn, Bill. Hey man, I know the Floyd Mafia might be serious, but we need you to drop some tape on that shit, bro. I don't know. That shit sound unbelievable.
It was on the Boxing Voice.
Oh, okay. I gotta watch it then, cause I don't know, Bill. You might need to drop some tape on that motherfucker. That sounds crazy.
It was yesterday. He said he beat the brakes off of Floyd.
Beat the brake, bro.
He beat the brakes. Yo, he was talking cash money. Like
Bill better not try to see Floyd in public. Them niggas gonna be scrapping for real.
Bill ain't nothing to play with. Bill put hands on people in that gym before.
I believe you, but
Bill ain't nothing to play with when he come to his son. When he come to his
Floyd got security though. They might start busting caps in that motherfucker, man. they might start shooting this shit. I don't know. I don't want to see Bill get clapped up.
I heard Bill beat up Jeff Mayweather.
That's not okay. I can whoop Jeff. That's not hard to do. I believe that 100% because Jeff was talking shit.
It may be another Jeff. I don't know, but
because Jeff is out of all the Mayweathers, Jeff is the one that looks the most.
He looks like the one out of all of them.
He looks the most homeless. That's what I was gonna say. He always looks like he looks dirty. Like he looks like he don't use lotion or bathe or anything. Like he looks fucking homeless. So I believe Bill slapped the shit out of that one.
Jeff is just dark skinned. Come on now.
I'm dark skinned. That nigga's dirty. Yeah, that dude's burnt, bro. That dude don't use no kind of lotion.
But his body is brown. I mean,
right? Yeah, that shit is garbage, bro.
Roger Mayweather seemed like a cool ass nigga though.
Oh yeah,
Roger was cool.
Roger, he was funny. He was funny in the motherfucker.
Yeah.
Roger seemed like the only level-headed one. Junior and Senior crazy as hell. You say you fucking sneeze wrong, them niggas hollering. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all?
Jeff seemed like the level one. Roger and Floyd was the ones that was going off.
I always saw Floyd Junior and Senior always yelling at each other. Roger always seemed to be kind of cool.
Roger was cool. When you get him hot. You see how he went? You see how he went ham in the Zab Judah fight?
Yeah, that's in the boxing ring. That's fine. I'm talking about like in regular life, Junior and Senior.
He was trying to fight Zab, man.
You get a mad.
Roger was 50 years old, yo.
But he was level headed. Because that's how I am. Like you get me mad, man.
Oh yeah, it's a wrap.
Yeah, it's fucking rap.
Yeah, Roger wasn't playing, but yeah, Bill Haney went on there. And he said, "Yeah, Devin beat the shit out of Floyd."
Damn, he said beat.
Yeah, he didn't. He wasn't humble about it.
My God.
And I think it was because of what. I think it was something because of. I'm not sure. I'm not really sure why it was like why he said it like that. And obviously, he never said that in the past and that stuff like that.
Probably because
Leonard Edelby. Yeah. Yup. That's exactly what I was gonna say. He went there. He said, "Yeah, Devin beat the shit out of Floyd, straight up." They was like, "What? For real?" He said, "Beat the shit out of him." Just
That's
like that.
crazy.
I said, "Yeah, we gotta click that up, man."
Yeah, man, that's crazy.
That's I've been telling people I've been saying that Devin Haney, when it comes to his boxing career, is gonna probably have a career arc similar to, on a power perspective, similar to that well, not similar but opposite of Mayweather, because Mayweather, as he went up in weight, he got a little bit weaker because of how he was boxing initially. I think for Haney's gonna be the exact opposite. He's gonna gain power, and motherfuckers gonna play with him, and they're gonna like they try to play with Ugas, he's gonna end up stopping motherfuckers.
Hey, I was gonna ask this. Who do y'all think is gonna be in contention for #1 pound for pound in the
To
future?
me, it's gonna be between Haney and Boots.
Yep. Haney
I think so.
or
I would say the one thing that worries, because he's so young, but he's not so much younger than Teofimo. Teofimo is probably like a year older than Devin, and Shakur is probably 2 years older than Devin, but obviously the oldest is Tank. His Tank's probably be 27 if he's not already. Devin gets hit. He gets hit compared to like Shakur. I haven't really seen Shakur get hit flush or anything. Like, he has a really good understanding of distance, and I think that's a talent. I don't think that's something I think that's a gift right there. I just wish Devin would just box and that stuff and not feed into, you gotta get these knockouts and be in the fucking pocket, man. Like, do what you do best, man.
Well,
And,
Shakur's biggest puncher has been Herring, and Herring has been stopped by, I think, has been stopped before by southpaws and has been beaten by 3 other southpaws. But the thing that worries me about Shakur most is that when you rough him up on the inside, he fucking panics. He starts looking at the clock. He starts looking at his corner. He starts looking at the ref. He doesn't know what's going on. Herring just jumped on him, put him in a motherfucking little headlock. He was panicking, asking the ref to break it up, and I was like, "Oh, nah, nigga, that's not it."
I mean, that Lomachenko fight is all bad for him, man. What do you think?
Well, no, he was Lomachenko's ass, but it's just because Herring was bigger than him.
Yeah, but Lomachenko is right there in the pocket with you. Like, he's there. Like, you don't take. I mean, Shakur wouldn't have that time to get that. I mean, he's right there. I would think.
But who is Lomachenko put in the headlock though?
Not even a headlock. I just think that he also has that same style as. I think like he's there in your face, like he's right there, like he understands distance and movement and things like that.
He understands distance and range. Like I think that's one of it. Like when I look at that, that's special. Like his understanding of distance and range is like, it's like, I can't even describe it, man. It's incredible.
But Shakur has 15 fights though. Right, Devin he's on him and Boots Ennis. They both have 27 fights. Like, 27, 28 fights and that stuff like that.
Those 3 have to beat now, because if you don't fight Boots now, you're not beating him later. If you don't, definitely now, not beating him later. The same thing before. Like those 3, sweet science, they have it mastered.
The reason why I said what I said about Lomachenko is because what made the Herring situation so masterful is because Stevenson was controlling the distance while hunting Herring down and neutralizing his offense. The reason why I think Lomachenko gonna be an easier fight because Lomachenko's built like a fucking T-Rex, like Tank. He gonna run right at you. His arms are real short. He's gonna have to run in on Shakur to get some shots off, and Shakur just gonna light his ass up on the way in. So that's why I think it's gonna be a much easier fight because Lomachenko just gonna come straight at you and he's gonna get beat up. He's gonna get his ass whooped.
Yep.
Lomachenko, he only jumps in on weak niggas like Nakatani. He ain't gonna do that with no damn Shakur. Especially after all the work he did in sparring, he can scare shitless. He ain't trying to fight Shakur at all.
Thought he couldn't stop it.
No.
But I've never been as high on Loma as everybody else is, and that's because one, he's overhyped. He's a good fighter, but
that was it. Yeah, being overhyped. Yeah.
After that Salito L, I was like, get this nigga the fuck off HBO. Get this fucking high
the
job
best
ass
thing since
motherfucker out of
Ali,
here. Oh
He's
my
the
god.
best thing.
Well,
He's
you
better than
know,
Ali.
Lomachenko's the best thing since Muhammad Ali. Like, I like how Bob says Lomachenko. Lomachenko.
Yeah, you know Bob. You know Bobby. He spark a spliff. Bobby in the clouds, man.
Bob still fuck bitches, I bet. He probably still fuck bitches. That's why he's still alive.
Yeah, that's a fact. He's
getting
still
pussy?
young.
Yeah, he's still
Yeah.
alive. That's why. He probably still fuck bitches.
If other famous people do, they bathe in blood of babies and shit like that.
I mean, I'm pretty sure he does a lot too, but you know he's probably still fucking.
That's right, bitch.
No, that's a
Give it
fact.
up.
That's a fact. Yo, you got too much
That's
money
fact.
for that.
Yeah.
You got money, man. They come into his house, knocking on his door. You know what time it is.
Yeah, bitches our age would do that for money.
And Bob's not opening the door. He's already in the bedroom. Waiting.
That's like in one of the Batman movies. That's like in one of the Batman movies where Morgan Freeman knocked on Bruce Wayne's door. Christian Bale opened it. He's like, "Damn, you answering your own door? Man, what the fuck is going on? You alright?" He was like, "Yeah, I had to let Alfred go. We had a disagreement about me being Batman." He's like, "Oh shit."
You think young men you think young men get that opportunity
For opportunity for what?
to pleasure older women, old women with a lot of money?
I'd imagine so. Look at Madonna.
Yeah.
Nah,
Disgusting.
Madonna
Disgusting old white bitch.
Madonna old as fuck, dog.
Hell no.
She's
Madonna old as
y'all know
Bro, you touching Madonna?
when she kissed Drake in the mouth.
Well,
It's like she was trying to take his soul.
Well, Madonna was fucking Tupac for a little bit. She was older than him, but the reason why I say this is because like look at J-Lo after she got divorced, she started fucking her backup dancer who was like 20 years younger than her.
I'm talking
So,
about Aram age.
If they like women, I don't think women have a sex drive like that after they get to that old ass age. But men sure do it. And the thing is, like bitches that are Queen Elizabeth age, if they want some young dick, yeah, they'll pay for it.
They gonna use gums.
Nah, they got toys. They got all
take
that
them
stuff.
teeth out using them gums.
They got them toys, man.
Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with that. Go ahead, Granny, get your shit in.
And let's be real, some niggas will fuck anything. So
Yeah,
Right.
that's why you got.
Make sure you
That's
got
why-
a warm house to go to.
And those niggas right there are the entire problem. That's why in the 21st century, you got like fat, ugly, stupid bras talking shit with all this self-esteem. Like, this we talking about. And then you realize to yourself, you're like, oh, she got some dick. That's why she's talking this level of shit, because she got some dick before. Okay.
well, it's just like we were talking about earlier. Dudes will do that for a place to stay.
Yeah, dude. Like literally, like the only reason, like before this era, like fat chicks that were ugly, chicks that were stupid, chicks that had nothing to offer, wouldn't be talking any shit. Now they're on social media talking about what they deserve. I'm like, oh, you done got some dick before, haven't you?
Hey,
Haven't you? That's why you talking all this bullshit, huh? Yeah.
hey, D, did you see that thing I sent in the chat?
On Twitter?
Yeah.
Oh, let me check it out. Oh, I'm checking it out. Go ahead, Rob.
I can't pronunciate your own name. Well, you can't say you knew either.
Well, yeah, Claude. The thing is, you be seeing girls that's like, are like fucking different. Like they're beyond big, like big bitches, like trying to like bad bitches like you're fat. You're
Got a
disgusting.
dent in their bed. They got a dent in their bed.
It's just like when, like, don't get me wrong. There are thick women, there are chubby women, there are some women that, like, I've seen some bigger girls that are very, very cute. But when you're in a situation where it looks like your ass is on backwards, it's like, all right, like let's.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
like let's
yeah.
stop the bullshit and get you some
No,
and get you
like
some help.
you can be healthy that size, but I
Get you a
just pushing it, you know. Like it's like unhealthy, kind of like, and it's okay to feel like everybody should feel good about themselves, but like you should kind of just kind of because that's like the way that some of them are like the size is like
yeah. You
it's
know
unhealthy.
they stop breathing when they sleep sometimes. Yeah, for sure.
Right.
You
Like every
gotta check on them. They need a pat machine.
I just want to be telling y'all, like, bro, y'all are not all built like Ashley Graham, okay? She's a fucking unicorn. That's not y'all. Y'all are not built like fucking Ashley Graham. If you don't know who Ashley Graham is, go ahead and Google her. She was like the first one to start off all like this super sexy plus size, like kind of modeling shit.
That's the first white girl that they could find to make her the movement, the face of that, you know.
Cause she's the one that was built the best. The rest of them built like fucking like linebackers and shit. Yeah, bro. Like these motherfuckers. Yeah, dude. These motherfuckers are built like cornerbacks and shit. They found Ashley Graham. They were like, oh, thank God, she's in the perfect fucking proportions. After that, these bitches built like trash.
I can find some
God
girls.
damn, she as strong
like
as I
that.
am.
Yeah, right.
You can find some girls down here that are built like that, but this is Texas, so you probably can't find like all the girls that are that size are built like Wells in California, right?
Well, if they're in and around the gym, then no. But if they're like just on the street, then yeah, probably.
Nah, she pretty though. Man, she just had 2 babies.
He looking up Ashley Graham.
Oh my bad.
He looking at Ashley Graham. Yeah. All the big girls think they look like that, and it's like, no, that's not you. You don't look like that.
My bad, guys.
Go ahead, Crab.
Hey, that thing that I sent you on, right?
Yeah, I saw that bullshit, Alan.
They call that dude Bussy Blanks.
That dude's a fucking, like, I saw him yesterday. I didn't think he was viral, and turns out today he's fucking viral. I'm like, so all he does is pop lock with his big ass. Like, who cares?
He's too big to be dancing like that, man.
You talking, dude?
Yeah, this is dude on Twitter. This bodybuilder type dude. And he's just pop locking in the mall in front of people, and people.
He acting like a TikTok bitch.
Some of them dudes is on peds.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Well, to make any money in professional bodybuilding, you have to be on steroids.
Yeah, you know,
It's a requirement.
HGH.
Mom's out there somewhere. I can hear her, Willa, every time I go to sleep.
Well, they're just slow. They're slow for the most part, and they don't have that much flexibility. But there's a lot of money to be made in bodybuilding, not just the competitions, but also the modeling endorsements.
Yep.
Like you do a lot of magazine covers and commercials. Niggas get real life rich off that Mr. Olympia. Like people think the shit is game, and no, Mr. Olympia, the prize money, it literally goes up every year. So like
Like
the
what was his
winner,
name? Ron Coleman that won 8
yeah,
times in a row.
yeah,
You
Ronnie
seen on
Coleman,
Netflix? Oh yeah, you seen our
yeah,
Netflix?
the,
You
the
seen
the documentary,
yeah, on Netflix.
yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah,
The
my
is it
man's he's in a stroller, man. Like he has to work with 2 crutches to get around his house and all that stuff like that.
Well, that's because it's just the way he
Yeah,
worked out. Like that was just his method.
yeah,
He lifted
right,
as
right.
much weight. He lifted as much weight as possible all the time, like deadlifting 800, 900 pounds and shit like that.
Mess his
So
spine up. Yeah,
yeah, that was the way he worked. But a lot of other people did it smart. Well, I don't want to say smarter, but they did other methods. Like they would just go for max reps and max weight. Like that was what I was doing before I really got into boxing. Like I did mostly powerlifting, but I used a lot of bodybuilding supplements to supplement my powerlifting. And like
hmm
the most I've ever picked up, deadlifting is probably like I think 625 or 630 somewhere in there. And yeah, man, that shit's heavy. Like like sometimes I'll keep it at like 500 for reps and shit like that. But yeah, no, he just did it real heavy. He did the most that he could all the time, and it caught up with him. Because a lot of bodybuilders retired and they're not even close to in that kind of situation. Like Jay Cutler's good. Schwarzenegger was good even because he
Oh
wasn't as
yeah,
big.
yeah,
A lot of the old retirees
yeah.
have been in better shape.
That's right. They did tell him that it was something wrong with him, and he still kept training with all
He
that
just
weight.
kept
That's
he
right.
kept going. He
Yeah,
wouldn't cut the weight
he
off.
did. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Because also
But I mean,
he was one of the biggest bodybuilders too. He came in at over 300 pounds on stage, and that was when he was almost 0% body fat. So that's one of the issues.
that's crazy, bro.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
I follow
man.
bodybuilding. Well, I used to follow bodybuilding a lot, like the Mr. Olympia, like Phil Heath, and Big Ramy, who I think just won it last year. So yeah, man, it's just crazy.
Yeah, they had a bodybuilder play the Hulk, man.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Nah, yo,
it's
you get a lot of yo. It's a that's a whole nother world right there, man. You get a lot with that in the bodybuilding world, man.
I
It's
honestly think
a
bodybuilders
lot of money.
bodybuild because they don't want to be football players. Like football players got to run sprints and do like long jumps and shit like that. Bodybuilders don't have to do all that, especially when they can just change
Yeah,
the dosages on the things that they're taking.
right, right. hmm
Yeah, I mean, you got to be like boxing. You got to be quick. Unless you can punch like Wilder, your ass is gonna get toasted. Like
Yeah,
shit.
the day you get someone that's 6'5", 6'6", 265, 270, a wrestler, like Tyson Fury is unique for the division, right? Because he's so tall and so big and that stuff like that. I don't follow wrestling, but I haven't heard anything about that unicorn in fucking uh, wrestling and the guy that's just
There's Big Show. Big
yeah.
Show was like one of the
He's
only
a
one of
wrestler.
the yeah. Big Show. Big Show was like 500 pounds and like
No,
oh
I'm talking about
no.
like a legit wrestler. I'm not talking about like WWE.
Oh,
I'm
you
talking
mean
about
like
WWE. I'm talking about
oh you mean
wrestling,
like
wrestling. Yeah, yeah.
real
Like
wrestling? Okay, my bad,
yeah,
my
real
bad.
wrestling. Yeah, 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 yeah. Because we got Andre the Giant.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
In real wrestling, I don't think it gives you an advantage to be that tall and long because if you get taken down and you end up on your back, you're at a disadvantage because to get leverage on your legs to be able to flip over, you need to work harder. So
Uh,
I don't think it's advantageous to be tall wrestling.
I mean, if you that, I mean, Bill. I mean, I'm talking about like muscle. You talking about like 6'6", 260, all muscle. Like, oh yeah, you're right. You're no. I get what you're saying. No, I get what you're saying. Yeah, they would get tired out quick.
Yeah. Like niggas was talking about Deontay Wilder and Francis Ngannou in boxing. I was like, oh, Wilder fucking dead his ass. It's not even a question. And then they said a street fight, and I was like, man, Ngannou will fold Deontay Wilder the fuck
Beat
up.
the brakes off him, man.
On some street shit, bro. They'll just kick him in the kneecap and fucking fold his ass over and put him in the suitcase, bro. That shit wouldn't even be funny, bro. I don't even want to see that shit.
They're like, yo.
Yeah, on some street shit, yeah, Ngannou crazy, because that nigga's from Africa, okay? So they got street fight just to get some dinner. So I don't. Yeah, they all they have is street fighting. On the boxing gym don't got no roof on it, so that shit's like street fighting. Yeah, I don't be trusting. Yeah, nah, it'll fall wild to the fuck up on some street shit.
But you know his mentality. Yo, he's strong though. That guy is fucking strong.
Hey,
you talking about like
I'm finna
strong, man. Deontay's strong. Bro.
Oh, okay. Have a good one, Alan.
All right, Carl.
Good to talk to you, man.
All right. See y'all later, man.
All right.
Man, one thing I've learned is that skinny niggas, like skinny wristed niggas, punch real hard. Like black dudes with skinny ass wrists punch the hardest for some fucking reason. Because I have skinny wrists and I've been got punched pretty hard, but I've been punched by like dudes with thick ass wrists and dudes with skinny wrists, and the skinny wrist niggas be hitting the hardest. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Yeah, man, it feels like a fucking spear. It's like, goddamn.
An ally has been slain. An ally has been slain. The enemy's inhibitor is respawning soon.
Is that New York? Are you talking about Albany, New York, or Albany, Georgia?
Yeah, I'm driving this. I'm gonna come up there, fuck around and see crowd. You gonna have to teach me some shit.
Yeah, I'm in Syracuse, New York. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, this nigga trying to beat my ass. I said, teach me some shit. This man trying to. This man, he's like, oh, I would love to have a crash test, dummy. This would be fantastic. How come you haven't tried the amateurs? Oh, okay, I feel it.
Yeah, I know y'all busy right now. Sure, with the COVID situation and stuff like that. People working from home.
That's my job. My job is disaster relief, working in public policy, allocating federal funds to relieve people financially from COVID-related shit. So I actually put in some hours today. They got my black ass working 6-7 days a week and shit. Yeah, I mean, I'm happy for the money, but I'm like, damn, bro, like shit. Like every time there's overtime, like I know I have the option to turn it down, but I'd be looking at like shit I want to buy, and I'm like, fuck, let me go ahead and log on. Oh, that's dope. I mean, not the laid off part, but the Department of Labor part. That's not
how
a
does the Department of Labor lay you off, though? Like, how long were you with them before they laid you off? Okay. Well. Mm.
The federal government does a lot of contract work. That's why they cycle out employees a lot of the time. Like, it's very hard to get a permanent position with a government agency. A lot of it is contract.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. I'm with the Department of Agriculture, but when it comes to IT, they definitely contract out. They do a lot of contracting when it comes to IT. Man.
Are you
Like
work for the
we
USDA?
yeah.
Were you recently hired in one of those positions where they're recruiting nationally?
No, I've been with them for the past 2 years. I went from the DOD to the USDA.
Okay, good.
So
My girl works for the USDA.
yeah, man, like it's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be a lot of rehiring because of people with COVID and that stuff like that because they're literally terminating people because they don't want to get the jab. So um
Ooh, I need to
and
get my black ass in there.
they're getting rid of a lot of people.
Oh, this is
And they're
great. This is
toughening up a lot,
fantastic.
bro. There's no lie. So USAjobs.gov, man, get up on there, man. Be
Oh,
on
I'm
the
about to.
lookout, man.
Cause I got a job when I was in LA. I got a job at the white collar defense department, at the white collar investigation department of the IRS. That was permanent, but I turned down to move out here so my girl can get her position because I knew I was gonna have another chance because I have an MPA. So I knew that the government,
Okay.
with an MPA, I know I have a better route to get in than she does. So I was like, fuck it, let me just go ahead and bite that bullet, and I'll come in on the back end. And so now I'm doing management consulting through a third party agency that consults with a lot of different governments. But I'm trying to get some permanent shit because this contract is pissing me the fuck off, bro.
You think
Like,
about it, the whole workforce environment is absolutely changed with what's happening right now. Is that there? I went from having to go into the office to now remotely 100% remotely working from my house. I don't even have to go into the office. I was doing a hour and a half commute in the morning, and then I would have like a 3 hour commute back home because of traffic. And now I'm remotely working from in a lot of positions, especially IT, because you don't have to go to someone's office or be in what I mean. You can literally tap in from wherever you're at and just shoot into their computer and fix whatever and fix or run up an update or from wherever you're at and that stuff like that. And it's been like that for the last year and that stuff like that. But you have a lot of people that's going to stand on their square and say, I'm not getting a vaccination as of right now. And
shit,
there's a lot
go
of
ahead,
positions that's
go
going to
ahead and
open up.
starve.
There's going to be a lot of positions that's going to open up, including IT, um, as of right now. Because even military, man, they're getting rid of military people. Like
Ooh.
they're what?
I'm
They're
about to be
getting rid
applying
of
to government jobs like a motherfucker.
they're getting rid of thousands of people that's in the military right now because they're not getting because they don't want to get the vaccination. They're like, nah, you gotta go, man. They're admin stepping them and they're getting out of there and that stuff like that. So we're on the last phase of this. I'm on this COVID workforce right now, and they're on the last phase right now, and we talking about reasonable accommodations and um, uh, there's one more other thing as well when it comes to religion and that stuff like that. Um, they're about to separate these people. They're going to terminate them. They leave with no benefits or anything like that. You're going to have to go get with a private company. Um, and so it's about to be a lot of people going to lose their jobs. And you see the numbers, like a lot of people quit and that stuff like that. That's what it sounds like. But a lot of people left their jobs because they don't want to get the job and that stuff like that. And a lot of people are going to get terminated. And then it's going to come out it's like, oh, it was a hiring boom under Biden and that stuff like that. And it's going to be based off because they got rid of them. Yeah, exactly.
A lot of the issue is because with the work from home model, people only did it the first round when COVID first came out of pure caution. But what happened was that in trying to accommodate the government mandates, the private sector was exposed. It's like basically there was a lot of dumb shit that you were doing with the commute that was meaningless. Entire billion-dollar companies who told you for years that they hedged upon person-to-person communication, they were exposed. It turns out it was just micromanagement. They just wanted you to be in the office so they can constantly bother you and see what the fuck you were doing. And the motherfuckers realized how much money they were saving on gas, commutes, coffee, lunches, and shit like that. They realized how much bread they had in their pockets after they checked. It was like, oh, fuck no. And then the best
Exactly.
the best employees in society now make the most educated people now make that a requirement. I have to work from home. I'm not going to work for you. And now people are realizing that. So people like you and people that work for the government that are the best and brightest, they should like we got to accommodate these motherfuckers now because now this is the standard. They don't want to pay for
Exactly.
gas money. They don't want to keep buying Starbucks. They don't want to go out for lunch. They want to be in the comfort of their own homes because these jobs don't require a motherfucking office. Offices are for kissing ass and sucking dick to get promotions. Whereas if you're at home, all you have to go off of is the numbers, the work ethic, who is
Exactly.
actually working, and that
Exactly.
exposes a lot of bullshit.
It exposes, yeah, exactly. It shows you the talent, right? And you're able to recruit better talent as well. If I'm able to get someone that's on the West Coast, right, and that's better than someone that's on the East Coast, then I can do it because now I'm allowing them to work from where they live at and that stuff like that. So we're able to, there's something there to where you can recruit much better talent now, much better talent now compared to having someone coming into the office and have someone hover over them about some goddamn work, man, that they're doing on a computer. Not even that they're doing on
Yeah.
like it's not you're not putting pen to paper. With 90% of the work I do is on the computer, man. Like, so it's no need to even be in the office and that stuff. You just have supervisors or directors that want to micromanage people and that stuff like that. And this day and age, it's not going to happen anymore because there's numerous ways to make income now, and it's not working for the government or working for some, some private sector or anything like that. Like you can go out and make your own money based off of just the technology boom. The technology boom is the fastest, the fastest rising era of all time. Now you think about it, we were like literally hooking our landlines to just use our computers at one point, and now, you know, we have our phones. We can do whatever from our phones. We don't even really need computers. We can type from our phones and do everything from our cellular devices now. And so you're gonna see a big thing that's gonna happen.
And
Absolutely.
a lot of it's definitely digital entertainment as well because people like as someone who I'm a working stiff. I work kind of irregular hours, but I work a lot for the most part whenever I can, definitely. And like a lot of people are like, man, fuck this shit altogether. Because another reason that you might have pointed out why people are quitting is because, especially when it comes to like service level jobs, because people realize I work my ass off. Like if you're like working in like restaurants or some shit, you're like I
Especially
work my
from small wage.
yeah, like you're like I work my ass off 12 hours a day and I still can't take care of myself. It makes no sense to spend all your time working a job where your needs are still not going to be fucking met. You're literally better off doing some other shit. You're better
OnlyFans,
off
right?
exactly. You're better off trying to figure it out. And it was funny as fuck. It was funny as fuck when OnlyFans was talking about we're gonna restrict sexual content. I'm like, no, you're not. No, you're. I'm like, no, you're not because that's your single biggest revenue source. Because Patreon is where people go if they don't want to put sexual content. OnlyFans is where the titties and ass is at. Yeah, it's where you pay $5 to see a woman put something up her own ass, even though porn is already free. Shit is retarded.
Exactly.
Like when I see hoes on Twitter with Cash Apps and OnlyFans in their bio, I'm like, bitch, you know how much free porn there is? You ain't special. Yeah, I would never pay a woman to watch or do something. I'm like, either I'm getting direct services or you can fuck off. I'm not doing that shit.
Exactly.
Yeah, my point.
And that too, man. That too. That too. Bro,
I think Trump shut that
kind of
down.
want
I don't know.
that.
No, I think Trump shut that down.
You said Trump.
Yes,
What?
I think online solicitation was made illegal under the Trump administration. It might be back on now. Go ahead and check it out and see if you can get somebody on there. I don't know. That's true. There are a decent amount of them.
I'm on six sites. But hold on, hold on. You're not getting no booty? You not?
Oh, he's talking about how they set motherfuckers up like Cardi B and shit. Yeah.
They said Cardi B up? What?
No, Cardi B used to set up dudes. That used to be her job. Like she was
Yeah, that's right.
running around with a group of criminals. Her job was to set up goofy ass niggas to get robbed.
This before she became famous. I don't think Cardi B. How do you think she looked attractive before she was famous?
I don't think Cardi B is that attractive now. I mean, the attractive parts of her are fake.
Yeah, that's a fact. But I'm. But
Well,
this is what
that's
the boxers need. But the boxers need to do that, man. Like all boxers need to do. They need to get on the social media and start getting social media famous, man. Like
they need to
build
develop
a
fan
sport up.
bases before they end up like fucking Andrade. He has no people to advocate for him because the nigga has no fan base. Well, they got support because this is fucking England. England has so few quality boxers outside of fucking like Fury that they'll ride anybody dick that's British. But American black fighters, because there's so much racial segregation and bias in America specifically, they gotta work harder.
And there's a much more sports here as well. Like football is major, basketball is major. Like so, I mean, you got I mean, like they're reaping
popular.
billions and billions of dollars and that stuff like that.
Yeah, revenue generation.
So the boxers, I mean, for someone to say, I can't do social media and stuff like that. Well, okay, then expect us not to buy your fight. Expect people not to show up to your fights if you're not going to go out there and be entertaining and that stuff like that, because people are on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and things like that. And if you're not on there, people aren't going to know nothing about you because people aren't watching TV. Like, we're not watching TV anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, people barely, like, who the hell has cable? We get cable just to have internet, so we can have everything outside of cable. So,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you have to,
Yeah. Nowadays, motherfuckers only use cable for like local news.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, I know. I'm talking about local. I'm talking about local news, like your zip code. Like it's much faster. Like cut on Channel 5 and see like your local news station to get like watch for 10 minutes to see where the robberies happen, and then like cut the TV off and then go back to what you was doing. Not like yeah, like local news is easier to get through the television and more direct than the internet. The internet, you got to type in like your exact zip code, and you got to read a bunch of articles and shit.
Or someone will post it on social media.
Yeah.
So I mean, and essentially, it's really I mean, you have social media, but you have the opportunity to have like a grassroots movement and that stuff like that. And you have certain fighters. You have fighters that saying like, I don't want to do that. You know what I mean? Like, but these younger fighters, the Shakurs, the Devins, the Bryans, so on and so forth. That's the generation before Terrence Crawford and Earl and that stuff like that. I feel like they understand it. They understand that we have to get on social media. Devin has a million followers. Tank has 1 million followers. Ryan has 1 million followers. Shakur doesn't. Nor does Earl. Nor does Terrence Crawford. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't have like that stuff like that. They have those. Earl has the Fox engine behind him and so on and so forth, but they have to get on that and not expect like a promoter to make them famous, because it's not going to work that way. Floyd shows you that. Yeah, he was tied with Al Heyman, but he was always in the public eye. Whether that's him promoting a new app or him being on YouTube or whatever the case may be, but he was promoting himself. He didn't need a promoter.
Yeah, he was always talking big shit.
Exactly. You know what I mean? So like, I'm not much of a talker. Well, become yeah, you have to become one. Like what this is the day and age we are. Like we're in. So what do you what are you doing? You have to align yourself with other celebrities as well. You see what Tank's doing? He's aligning himself with other celebrities, the young babies, the Dirks, and so on and so forth, and that stuff like that.
They're mostly scared
You
of
have
the
to do that.
backlash, though. They're mostly scared of the public backlash because they understand. Well, I think they understand, but they don't understand the severity of it. But when you're black, that kind of stuff, the public perception, it doesn't advance your star power so much as hurt it because people whenever they see a black person that's doing those things, all they can do is try to spin the story into a negative, like, oh, he's associating with people that do this, he's associating with people that do that, he thinks too much of himself, he hasn't fought anybody, he doesn't deserve this or that, this new generation, etc. When they see any other person that's not black doing that, they'll just think it's smart marketing. Like they'll see Ryan Garcia and it's like, oh, that's very intelligent marketing. But then they'll see Tank and they're like, oh, Tank can't sell shit. Tank doesn't, it's all negative. So I think I agree with what you're saying, but I think they're more concerned about the public perception. But what I say to that is that you need to get over it because they're going to hate you regardless. At least be popular while they're hating you. Like Floyd was at least popular. A lot of people didn't like Floyd, but he was fucking popular.
And as they were saying, I think one of the strongest things Floyd may have said is that I don't care if you speak good or bad about me as long as you speak about me. We're just in we're in this universe to where like anyone can spin anything. Like you can put someone out, someone can take it and spin it and take a couple of clips from your videos and make it into something that it's not and that stuff like that. So, why be worried? Like why if you just have to put yourself out. You have to put yourself out there, or us as the consumers, and also in this day and age. I think we understand our value as consumers now. I'm not going to pay for some bullshit fight anymore. Or I'm not going to, you know what I'm saying? Or I'm not going to pay for this. Or, you know what I mean? Like, I'm questioning these things. Dude, I'm paying this cable bill. I'm paying for these fights. You're trying to tell me I don't have a voice in I don't have a voice in, like, this whole boxing game and that stuff like that? Hell yeah. You talking about $80? That's a lot. What are you talking about? I'm no millionaire or anything like that. Like, I'm frugal. Yeah, I'm frugal with my money. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's like, I want to see great fights and that stuff like that. And I have no problem paying my money for great fights. But if you're not, if you're not putting out fights, man, I'm not paying for them.
All right, go ahead, Croc.
Makes some sense.
Yeah, yeah, and and a lot of the time fighters, a lot of the time fighters are so wrapped up into social media as users that they don't understand, like they're consumers themselves. They don't understand the broader implications of the consumer market base. They don't understand that public relations, like PR, is not just something that you do. Public relations is a field in which you can study in university. Like it's somewhat of a social science in and of itself, and yeah, and it's important to moderate your image and understand the implications of what you're saying and how the public is going to interact with your content or your discourse that you're putting out there. So I think that's why a lot of them make suspect moves, like what Jerome was saying about Tank and how he's moving. That's actually pretty smart. But you have goofy motherfuckers like Bomac that are your manager that don't understand PR, and they just be running their mouth and give up some shit. Like when he was talking about how they took the easy WBO route, that fucked Terrence Crawford up. It's like, oh shit, it looked like y'all was pussy. So it's like, it's a big difference. You got motherfuckers that understand PR and motherfuckers that are just out there talking.
Yeah, I think boxers, when it comes to social media, they lack acumen, and I say that is that because they don't understand like how people that watch boxing or fans of boxing want to go on that journey with him and that stuff like that. Like you have a lot of people, you have some people, you have a good amount of people that come from other sports and that stuff that then come to boxing and watch it, and now they become fans and that stuff like that. And they're looking for a storyline. They want a storyline. They want their boxers